The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Today we're debating who the Jets should take at number 2, and not just any type of debate, a debate featuring two guys on the complete opposite ends of the number 2 pick in the draft spectrum when it comes to Arvell Reese. Frankie V can't stand Reese. Joe Blewett loves himself some Arvell Reese. Both join me for a fun debate as we go back and forth on what the Jets should do. It's the Jake Asman Show, live on a Tuesday. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Look, before we bring on our esteemed guests, let's revisit something Aaron Glenn said earlier today.
I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
If you believe Geno is going to lead the Jets to the promised land like the head coach of the Jets does, bet on the Jets to win the Super Bowl, baby, with our sponsor, FanDuel, plus 25,000. The Jets odds to win the bowl.
I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
Now, you know Aaron Glenn is betting on his Jets. With that, let's say hello to our guy, Joe Blewett, who joins us every Tuesday at this time, and a guy who normally joins us on Monday, who has been the talk of Jets Twitter for his hatred of Arvell Reese, the co-founder of uSTADIUM, Frankie V. Mr. Tanky, how are you doing? Joe, what's going on?
I'm doing well, guys. I'm doing well. You know, the little delays that we had were actually good. Joe and I, we chopped it up in the back, so that was cool. That was
my tech issues kind of ruined the bad blood I wanted to kind of like boil over. You guys got a chance to chop it up, and I wasn't there, and I wanted to not allow you guys to talk to each other. But we'll lift the curtain. You guys don't hate each other, but you guys are on total opposite ends in terms of what the Jets should do at number 2 in regards to Arvell Reese. So, Frankie, I'll start with you because you went on that Twitter tirade last week where people are tagging me in your tweets being like, you got to get Frankie back on the show. What is wrong with him? Have you calmed down since you had like 1,500 tweets about Arvell Reese last week?
Listen, in life, sometimes we have bad moments. It's part of life. I was frustrated for a lot of reasons. I told Joe it was a late night, very early morning. People canceled meetings and whatever. I was in a bad mood, and then I see, the Arvell Reese fan club. Everyone seems to be on it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start throwing some fireworks out there. I'm gonna see how many people I could piss off with this one. No, but in all honesty, I am passionate about the topic at hand, guys. Listen, we're drafting 2nd overall. We basically could pick any player we want in this draft. I have my reasons why I want David Bailey. Again, it's for the betterment of the Jets in the future, man. It's not everything, this pick, because we have 16, 33, 44, 3 first next year, but they got to get this pick right. This player's got to, have all pro potential, right? So as much as I was being a prick online, I was passionate about, my point. I exaggerated. It happens.
You tagged me.
I tagged you. I said we're talking. I did tag you. I did tag you in I was being actually that was the first tweet I had that morning, or I don't even know what it was. That
I'm glad I was on your mind, Frankie.
Well, no, because I'm like, Joe, where's the bend? And everyone just got the bend gig. I'm like, Joe,
we're gonna talk about a lot of things with traits. Don't worry. But even though Frankie called me a jackass, I don't think it's gonna be so nasty right now. I do have a few grenades in my back pocket that I do not plan on unleashing unless Frankie gets a little bit nasty. But we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. I don't think we're gonna get nasty, especially talking a little bit before. But yeah, just for the sake of keeping this on track, are you okay with me? I'll steer it a little bit and take you kind of through my thinking of why I really want Reese over Bailey. You can decide after if I'm then a jackass, and I think it's not gonna be so much of a debate. I think it's gonna be a more of a discussion between us, and then I think like naturally all of your defenses of Bailey and criticisms of Reese will come up, and then any film and anything like that you want me to bring up after, we could definitely do that. Bend or how he wins or run defense or whatever it is, but I'm not going to try to do any like gotcha plays or anything like that.
Yeah, we've said it before. I don't have any film for this.
Yeah.
I didn't even know we were going to bring film, but that's regardless. Again, I only called you a jackass because your tweet was, "This is the same guy." And when you start a tweet like that, I did at you first before that. Where's the Ben, Joe? I did. But, you said this is the same guy, and I'm like, you know who I am. I mean, we're not friends because I never met you really and talked to you much, but you know who I am. It's like, this is the same guy that, and I didn't even read the rest. I'm like, all right, jackass.
Yeah.
But I apologize for the name calling. I don't like name calling.
No, it was all just about getting tagged. Cause like I was already starting with the whole Ben, which we don't have to talk about Ben Gate, right? Like we don't have to hit on that. Did we all understand, Jake? Did you talk about it on the stream? How that was a completely different drill. One's approaching the bag from a 45-degree angle and then making a 45-degree cut. One guy is turning completely around. That's gonna be completely different. And even Bailey's Ben Gate too, because a couple of days after, they had him jumping over bags laterally and then turning around completely. I'm like, what is the point of this drill? Like, when are you going to be jumping over foot traffic and then turning around? So a lot of people just snapshotted the bend, but how are you coached going into it? What is the exact drill? What is the purpose of the drill? And again, you're going to turn around differently 180 degrees than 45 degrees. And with that being said, with the whole Ben Gate stuff, with like Reese versus Bailey and stuff, one's been coached as a defensive lineman for 3 or 4 years. One's a linebacker, so you're not going to expect him to do as good with the whole, Ben Gate and all of that stuff. And really, who cares? Like, how often are you running against, bending the corner against a bag? Like, even Michael Parsons came out and said, this is stupid. It's all about coaching with this stuff. It was really dumb. It really was, though.
The one thing I will say about that is I'll never use drills like that to love a prospect.
Yeah.
But the way, and to what you're saying, the way that he's approaching this stuff, he looks like a linebacker. And my whole point is he is a linebacker. My whole premise with Reese is he's not an edge. He's a linebacker. That's like, if you uncover everything that I've said about the guy, at the end of the day, the foundation to what I'm saying is the guy is a linebacker. There is nothing out there, nothing besides a Penn State play and him, against Illinois, where he jacks up that right tackle. 2 plays, 3 plays that suggest this guy's an edge. That's my argument. I don't take linebackers second overall unless they're Ray Lewis or Luke Kuechly, and I don't see that with him. So that's my whole point, is you're trying to sell me on an edge based on what? Based on, I know how strong he is, so you're gonna say because he's strong and he's fast that he's automatically going to be an edge. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Didn't we try that before with Deion Jordan and Isaiah Simmons a little bit? We've done this before.
Quick. Isaiah Simmons was a safety who then became a linebacker, so that was different. Deion Jordan,
edge.
Yeah, but still a safety who is going down to linebacker and playing a little bit of edge. And then Deion Jordan was a 2 or 3 year starter, and he was 23 years old when he was drafted, and he had 5 sacks in his last year as like a full-time outside linebacker edge. So when with Reese, like you look at the numbers for Reese, he had 83 true pass rush snaps this year from edge, where it's not, and that just basically means like not a screen, not an RPO, nothing like that, like true pass rush snaps. He had 4 sacks, 18 pressures. Bailey has had 7 or 8 times more the pass rush snaps than Reese has. So yeah, he's going to be more defined and better technique wise than a Arvell Reese. But part of the draft is projection, right? Like you have to project into the future. It's not necessarily even about who is the best player right now. And I think it was a conversation about who's the best player right now. We can have I think it'd be much more of a conversation. But if you look at like the age and experience, like Bailey, his first year, he had 2.5 sacks at 20 years old. His 21-year-old season, second year as a full-time edge, he had 5 sacks. His third year as a full-time edge, he had 7 sacks. So it's like, so Bailey wasn't just a guy who
and then he
came in right off the jump.
Half. What about
what is Reese going to be in 2 or 3 years?
But Joe, The other thing is this: when I look at projections at edge, you know what I look at? I want to see some disruption. I want to see a forced fumble or 2 per year.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey had 5 forced fumbles in that last year at Stanford, which, by the way, is more than Ruben Bain had in Miami, and it's 5 more than Arvell Reese did, that never forced a fumble. How are you going to tell me this guy's going to be in? And I know fumbles can be a little bit lucky. I get it.
Exactly.
I know.
Especially when you're rushing the passer, it's going to be more of a thing where you're turning the corner, you hit the ball out, because Bailey had multiple fumbles like that. Like, I don't think he's running into piles and ripping the ball out. It's more because he's rushing the passer.
Well, Reese never even did that.
I know he had 83 true pass rush snaps.
No, I'm saying he never ran in as a linebacker and ripped the ball out. He has never forced a turnover at Ohio State. Like, to me,
and
there's something there that and like for us, the Jets, I want players that are going to force turnovers or know how to, like Jacob Rodriguez just gets it. Some guys, they sniff it out. They just know where to be. It's like Tyrann Mathieu, right? They just get it, how to be in the right spot at the right time. Reese, to me, man, like, I don't know. I'm not saying he doesn't get it, but he seems like he's Patricia had him doing so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
He's asked to do so much. He's a little bit, I don't know. He's just, to me, I don't think he's ready to have the keys to being a full-time edge, and I don't know when he will. I don't think he will be at first. I think they'll kind of flip it. Like, I think this year he played like 60-40 linebacker edge. I think he'll probably play like 60-40 edge to linebacker this year. And I think on like base downs, he'll play outside linebacker and be more of a run first guy. And then on third downs, he'll be blitzing. And I hear the inside linebacker thing with him, but part of it is like in terms of, okay, where do the Jets need help in their run defense? Like, in your opinion, like I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like they're very beefy up the middle, right? They need that edge presence in the run game as well, especially with how lateral the game is nowadays with all of the jet sweeps and pin and pulls and end arounds and stuff. So I think he helps there more so as a outside linebacker, an on ball outside linebacker than an inside linebacker, because they already have a lot of good run stuffers in the middle. And then on top of that, like inside linebacker versus outside linebacker, and he's going to play both. Like, I don't want him to be locked down on either, but I think he'll be more of a full-time edge. But looking at inside linebacker versus an edge player, outside linebacker, DN, whatever exactly it's going to be, Reese is a better pass rusher. In my opinion, he's more potential as a pass rusher than he is in coverage. Like, he's not that great in coverage. So if you're going to play him inside linebacker, to me, he's not. He's not. If you keep stuff in front of him, man coverage on a running back, man coverage on a tight end, some short zones, some like walling guys off, things like that, fine. But if you're going to ask him to do like a pull runner in Tampa 2 where he's matching, matching up the seam and stuff like that, like I don't want him doing that necessarily. So I think part of the intrigue is the versatility he has. And then again, like, yeah, he's not the best pass rusher right now. And I'm not gonna just completely dump on Bailey like Nick Sabo did. Like, I actually think in certain situations, more like with the Titans, in a more attack type front, he could be maybe a decent player in the run game with some growth. But that's not the system the Jets are running right now, right? Like, who do you think is he a better fit with the Jets, or who's the better fit with the Jets in terms of like read and react versus the Titans? More like penetration, more attack, in your opinion, at least. Just in terms of fit, not in terms of who's the better player. Well, I'll just say this. Just to kind of break it down. If you're playing outside linebacker in a 3-4, standing up, when I'm talking with Robbie a few weeks ago, we're talking about if it's Reese and Bailey as like a 5 tech, which honestly, maybe it's just setting an edge in that regard. Maybe Reese is better. I mean, he probably is because he's just that good with his hands.
Yeah,
he is.
We'll be fair to both prospects. He's better. I don't want to. But by the way, really, even with the film I show, I don't want to even relitigate the run stuff. I'm actually going to bring up some. I'm going to bring up some Bailey plays in pass rushing as well.
Yeah. The thing is, Bailey, I look at, right, and I was watching Nick Bonito tape earlier today, dude. If you put Bailey as a 3-4 outside linebacker, his first step and his speed off the edge and how that pocket collapses is so different. It's not every sack is about bend. So I agree with you in the beginning of this. We don't have to talk about bend too much. So like Nick Bonito, go and look at all of his sacks last year. He maybe had bend on 3 or 4 of them where he's really leaning in. He's not Nick Bosa. Their first step, though, is so explosive. And Bailey's got one of the best first steps, man, I've ever seen on tape. He just
I think with Bailey, it's actually more his I think it's his secondary acceleration that I really love. It's like his second, third, and fourth step. But with the bend part, like the bend part is more so if you don't always win cleanly. So you have to be really confident in David Bailey just winning very cleanly, because there is times where he doesn't bend the best and he can get pushed up the arc. And part of bend is power through bend too, right? Like you can bend as much as you want, but if you're getting sent 7 yards up the arc and you're bending, who cares? So part of bend is power as well. So and in terms of like, okay,
he has counter though. That spin move's deadly when he wants to bust it out. Let's not ignore that. And if we'll
talk about the spin move. Don't worry. That's
and if you get too light on your feet as a tackle, you get a little bit too light, because if you're a more athletic tackle, you can get there and meet Bailey. Try to do that though. Don't get too light, because he'll bulldoze right over you. He's that strong too, which is why I like him. But one deficient,
But and the only thing I was going to say about that, like he's in college, you saw some reps of him bull rushing guys. It was few and far between. Is he going to be able to do that to NFL tackles? Like I think we can agree he doesn't have the strongest base. We could agree to disagree there. I don't think he'll consistently be able to do that. And I have some problems with the bull rush in terms of setting it up. And we'll get into we're going to get into bull rush. We're going to get into the spin moves. We're going to get into some rushes where he.
Respect the bell. All right. We're going to get into some of the film that Joe Blewett provided. If you're just tuning in, we got Joe Blewett, Frankie V, opposite ends of the spectrum in regards to Arvell Reese. Super chats will cut the line for those of you who are watching the show live. We also will have another Asmaniac Madness battle after the first one today. We had an upset with Chef Kevin knocking out Neil from the tournament. So make sure you're sticking around for Leany in North Carolina versus Thunderlips in the 16 versus 9. And let me get this out of the way because it's a great giveaway today. Sign Wayne Crevette football. I'm going to send it to one lucky listener at the end of the stream. The beginning of our show, it's the debate of all debates. Arvell Reese or David Bailey, who should the Jets take at number 2? Couple super chats. And then, Joe, if you want to start pulling up some of your first clips, we'll move it forward there. Flight Risk Jet says Tanky V eats too much lead paint. Big fella says Tanky being a prick ? No way. I can't believe it. And then when we talked about Gino in the open
on this show, Joe, you see, it's unbelievable.
Jetstream, the first to enter the raffle for 2, says if Gino leads us to the promised land, it's not because we won the Super Bowl, it's because we are dead and are in the afterlife.
Like I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
Oh, yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the debate continues here between Joe and Frankie. So, Joe,
can I ask Joe one quick question before the tape?
I don't want to get into the tape yet, Jake. You'll see me pull it up when I do. I still have a few more topics I want to get into before the tape.
All right. So let this continue then. Go ahead, Frankie.
Yeah, just quickly. If Arvell Reese is just strictly a linebacker, let's say you played Arvell Reese like they did at Ohio State. Let's say you played him that way in an identical fashion, right? Let's say we hired Matt Patricia, right? They played him in that role. Do you think he's worth the second overall pick being used like?
I'm not using it. So I don't think he's going to be used like that. I don't think he's.
If he were to be used like that.
No, I'm not. I'm not taking him.
So that's my argument though. Like Matt,
but there's a reason that all the teams are have him number 1 overall player, and he's projected, and like even guys who are respected like Lance Zierlein, which I don't necessarily agree with him all the time, but he has him as a higher ranked prospect than what's his name from the Texans a few years ago.
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson. So I don't think he's going to be playing at primarily linebacker.
No, they have even like when you look at those rankings, sometimes their positional value sort of gets thrown out the window. Like I've seen Caleb Downs ranked 1st or 2nd overall on big boards. I'm sure on your big board you'd have Caleb Downs pretty high up there. Like I have Vega Ioane. Honestly, he's probably the best player at his position in this draft. I don't know where I would draft him per se, but he might be 3rd on my big board, but he's a 16th pick or 14th. You know what I'm saying?
Reese, no, but go ahead. Sorry. No, I've been after you a few times.
No, you didn't. No, you're good. Reese, I cannot come around to Reese being an edge strictly and justifying him as an edge. And all I see online is and this is when I had my little meltdown. Every content person is all on board now. There's not one person outside of Doozable that thinks Bailey should be the pick, and I don't know why. Like, I get Reese as a specimen or an athlete on a football field. Special. He is. I'm not stupid. I did a video on him highlighting how great of a linebacker he is. But to put a linebacker at edge, by the way, shorter arms than Bailey, smaller hands than Bailey. I mean, this guy's really going to have to be as athletic as he can, learn quickly to be an edge in football, or else, they're going to put him at linebacker. And I'm not taking a linebacker, second overall.
I think he'll fail backwards to linebacker if he works to fail at edge. So you definitely try him out at edge first, and then if he fails, he's a really good linebacker. Like, I don't think his floor is as low as some people think it is. He could be a dominant linebacker too. There's not the best in coverage, but a dominant linebacker. But and I think part of it, I think part of the problem with the whole Twitter thing is like, obviously last week or 2 weeks ago at Sabo, you said that you quite literally out of your mouth, which is why I clipped it, said that Reese is the better overall edge, but Bailey's pass rush tips the scales. So the thing where I was like, why then were you so? Yes, that's exactly what you said.
Better overall edge.
Better overall edge, but the pass rush tips the scales.
Better overall defensive player.
You said edge.
Well, I don't know why.
But nonetheless, I just don't think it's, and I think it happens on Twitter, and I think it's like what I said, tribal. That's what I said in the tweet to you. I don't think because you like a prospect, you have to hate another one. Like, I don't hate Bailey. I actually like Bailey, but I definitely like Reese more. But I want to get back to the fit. Read and react for the Jets. Not talking about them overall, but their play styles. Who fits better with the read and react with the read and react system? It's obviously going to be Reese, correct?
No, I disagree. You know why?
With read and react?
You're again,
and holding your ground?
I don't care just about read and react. I want to force quarterbacks into hell. I want to force fumbles. I want to get tip balls so we can cause havoc. Bailey causes havoc. That never goes out of style. So yes, if you want to just talk read and react, setting an edge.
That's all I asked. I didn't nothing about fumbles, nothing about pass rush.
But Joe, football's not just that. You know that. You know when it's 3rd and 14 that you're playing against Patrick Mahomes. Who do you think's not going to stop until they get pressure there?
Frankie, you just said football's not that. You're just talking about pass rush though. You're saying football's not just that. How often do the Jets can have guys in 3rd and 14 too? Like that's part of the. But nonetheless, I think that he fits the Jets system better with the read and react stuff. Glenn was just saying today about the whole multiple fronts thing, which I Bailey, if you want to give him the pass rush, fine, and I would at this moment as well. But in terms of versatility, read and react, multiple fronts, I think Reese is even if you think that Bailey is the better overall player, Reese is the guy who could fit multiple more defense. Where he could play Jack, he could play Sam, he could play inside linebacker, he could do really whatever you want for your defense. So
do you think that justifies somebody going 2 though, just because they could do all those? They said the same thing about Deion Jordan. They said the same thing about Isaiah Simmons. I mean, like, I've heard we already
litigated that
though, Joe. Like, I remember
Isaiah Simmons was a safety who then became a linebacker, and Deion Jordan was
the same thing you just said.
He was 23 years old and had 3 years of starting. Reese has had 1 year of starting. He's 20 years old.
People told me, Joe, Deion Jordan,
but it's not a fair comparison,
was gonna guard Rob Gronkowski.
Okay, Let me simplify it. If Reese had 2 more years at college at full-time edge, do you think you like more at edge? Can he grow? Is there projection? Or is this just what he is?
Obviously.
Okay, so it's unfair to compare him to a guy.
David Bailey,
but it's unfair.
David Bailey every year got better, every single year.
Sure, and his last year at Stanford, he got pulled in run situations.
They took him out transferred situations. They do that with pass rushers, man. They did it with Von Miller also. It's the name of the game, man. Julius Peppers was taken out with Carolina too in certain spots because they wanted.
He got pulled in run situations because he wasn't good at it. And then what do you think's gonna happen at the NFL level in run situations? You think he's gonna be on the field, especially? Does he fit like with all the guys they brought in, Osai and Agnagbari and Onyemata? Like, does he fit that? Does he fit the mold of the type of guys the Jets are bringing in right now? And again, he got pulled off. And I think you were joking on Twitter when I saw this, that you said that, like, and again, Glenn was just talking about multiple fronts. He was just talking about like the character of guys, and then you have Bailey, and this is a little thing that's I think it's not talked about maybe even enough, that he stomped on a player's head in 2024, got ejected from the game, and then he was like fighting with the cameraman too. So like that's part of it as well. In terms of like versatility, football character, Reese, he just talked about that today. Reese is in front in both of those categories.
I have nothing bad to say about Reese's character. I have zero. I think the guy's got a great character. He's a smart kid too. I have nothing bad. So I'm not going to say it. I'll say this though. I like when my edge guys are a little bit nutty. I like that. Now maybe stomping on a guy's head. Yeah, that's a little far. and it's like a weird story there. And the tape's kind of weird, but whatever. Listen, Bailey's a psycho, man. When that ball's hiked, that dude's a psycho on the field. Like he's you kind of need you kind of need. Reese is a lot more controlled, more fundamental, more controlled. My point is, Joe, looking at this team 3 or 4 years down the line, I want to take a shot on a guy that could just be a 15 sack guy and just causes, chaos.
Could be keyword
versus like a right fit with Enagbari. When the Jets are good, these guys aren't even going to be here probably, just calling a spade a spade. So like,
but that's the type of prototype they like if they are here.
Yeah. And how long's, but how long are they going to be? Like, you got to think about like the guys getting to the quarterback. Like we need guys like that.
Well, we're going to talk about that, no doubt. But again,
we had no interceptions too last year. It's not just because our corners are not, making plays or safeties. It's because there's not enough pressure on the quarterback from our edge. We had the lowest edge rate in football last year. You know that pressure rate? Dead last. 8.5% of the time our edges got pressures last year, which was dead last. You think that doesn't lead to your team not having interceptions? When you're forcing quarterbacks to have to make rush decisions, or you're tipping the ball and it's coming out, that's how you get interceptions. We get Reese, man. They're not going to have any pressure, these guys, unless we're hoping Will McDonald gets better. And I actually like Will McDonald, for the record. I'm not.
By the way, and I want you to finish your thing, Jake. Can you pull up that clip I just pulled up with? And this is part of it too. Like the linebackers and stuff were so bad. Did you happen to see the Will McDonald thing I put up the other day with how quickly he won pretty frequently, but how quick the ball was out because there was no pass coverage? Did you happen to see this, Frankie, or no?
I saw a few clips of that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll also let it run. So you need the pass rush, but if you don't have the coverage, but that's nonetheless, I just want to show it. Like I am hiring Will McDonald.
Will McDonald could be really good, man. I don't know people that don't. And again, I'm not comparing Will McDonald to Bailey at all. I'm not, but.
So different players, but used in the same in similar situations.
Very much so. I think McDonald's more of a hand in the dirt guy. Bailey, believe it or not, he likes to stand up, man. Bailey, when he has his hand in the dirt, it looks like they just taught him how to do that yesterday. He's got like a weird kind of technique. But you have him flying off the edge, Joe. He's not dealing with tackles. He's dealing with either pullers or tackles coming out to block him. If you have a 5 technique, put a big 5 next to him, and that's assuming we're going to run 3-4 all the time, which I don't think. Glenn said it today. And your partner Robbie was right about they're going to do more multiple fronts. I heard him say that. I just think Bailey's going to scream off the edge like a maniac. That first step, he's going to get to the quarterback. We need someone like that.
Part of it's definitely like earning the right to rush to passer. We know that. And then in terms of Will McDonald, like does he cancel out McDonald? Like how do you get both these guys on the field at the same time? Like we both just said that we like Will McDonald. Are we giving up on him because they're not both playing in base? Again, especially with what they want to do with like read and react stuff. I think they're really going to even have Will McDonald as more of like a DPR, like a designated pass rusher. So how do you fit both Bailey and Will McDonald on the field at the same time? Or if you don't fit them on the field at the same time, you're gonna have a first round pick wasting on the bench. And with Will McDonald, and this is you're not going to agree with this. I think Will McDonald has a higher pass rush ceiling because he has the explosion, he has the bend, and he has the explosion and the bend and then the speed as well, where Bailey doesn't have the movement skills that Will McDonald does. So, but nonetheless, in terms of fitting Will McDonald and Bailey on the field at the same time, like how do you do that if you draft a Bailey?
Well, I'll ask you this. I don't know where Will McDonald's going to play in a 3-4 anyway. Is he going to be a stand-up?
He's outside linebacker.
Yeah, but I like him more like in a wide 9 with his hand in the dirt. To be honest, he's not. This is going to be something a little bit new for him a bit. So like that's going to be a transition on that side. But no, to be honest, yes, stopping the run, it's not great having McDonald and Bailey. I'm not going to be blinded to that. But
it'd be bad.
Be hell getting to the quarterback though, because McDonald.
But they're not going to have time to get to the quarterback. If it's second and 3, they're not going to be able to get to the quarterback.
You got to get there though. You got to get to a point where those meaningful downs matter. Like, yeah, I know today teams are. I said it. I tweeted it. You're never going to see Will McDonald at his best when we're getting blown out by the middle of the third quarter. The game's out of reach. Teams aren't going to be dropping back, but. That's just the spot we're at, which is a bad spot. You're thinking about projecting where the team could be in a few years. And are they going to give Will McDonald his 5th-year option? I don't know. Like
they just talked about it the other day. It seems like they were going to.
Yeah, I think they will too.
I know. So, but my problem with Bailey, like I don't think you could fit them both on the field. So I think if you draft Reese or if you draft Bailey, you're giving up on Will McDonald. That shouldn't necessarily be a reason, but it's part of it, right? Like I like Will McDonald. You like Will McDonald. And again, I get it. I get like your problem with Reese right now, but again, part of it's projection, right? Like he's in 1 year with 83 true pass rush snaps is not going to be the player he is in 3 years with more development to his body and more development in his game. Like I trust Carl Dunbar to develop him. I think Reese, if he was in a similar situation, just in terms of playing time as a Bain and a Bailey, and he had 3 more years, he had another 500 pass rush snaps, he wouldn't be the same player. So I think it's a different conversation, right? Like part of it is projection. Like he's definitely not a finished product. He's raw, no doubt, but it's not like Deion Jordan, who you brought up, who was a full-time outside linebacker DN for 3 years and was 23 years old coming out, versus a guy who has had 83 true pass rush snaps and is 20 years old. It's different.
Yeah, Joe, the thing with Reese, though, that concerns me a little bit, outside of the other 50 things I brought up, but it's the way he was used at Ohio State with Sonny Styles and Caden McDonald's taking up a lot of stuff up front, so they can be a little bit creative up the middle with those two. And Caleb Downs is behind you, kind of picking up all the slack. Like, you can be very creative with Arvell Reese. And Matt Patricia was on Sirius XM radio and spoke about that. He's like, when Arvell gets into the NFL, you're going to have to know how to use him. And I read between the lines, but he said basically what you said. I wouldn't put him at edge right away. It's going to be a transition into an edge, I would say. You
have to trust your coaching staff, and I trust Dunbar to do that.
It's not that I don't trust our coaching staff, Joe. I don't trust the process for a project edge who hasn't played in it enough with short arms.
But we could agree that yes, short arms, but it's not below the minimum threshold that you want. So it's not.
No, it's not. But it's right there.
And hand size, it's like, okay, he's not a receiver. He's not a quarterback. Who I don't really care about the hands very much, to be completely transparent.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Sometimes with edges, though, it matters, man. You get your paws on somebody. You
does it matter about how big they are or the shot behind them?
They bring up hand size with every position base. I mean, it's more important for offensive linemen. Yeah, but
if you're touching the football.
Edges with big hands matters, man. I'm not like, it's not an end all be all. Listen, I don't think his measurements are a detriment, but you'd like, if he had a little bit of longer arms, I can justify him not having to depend on his athleticism solely. The hand fighting. Have you seen any clips of him hand fighting and getting a sack? I asked you guys on the internet. I asked you actually. Is there a clip of Arvell Reese getting a sack where he hand fights and wins? Or there's bend and he wins. There's not one. I showed you the one play with the bend, and he wins differently, right? Like he wins differently. He's a power rusher right now. But in terms of like projecting the guys, and I don't want to relitigate the run game stuff, but in terms of pass rush traits, right? Like obviously, and there's more traits, right? And we can get into some more traits, but like primarily it's going to be speed, power, and technique, right? Bailey has the speed. He has the technique for the most part, and we'll talk about some of the technique that I think might be a little bit overrated at times. Bain has the power, he has the technique, but who has the potential for both? Like who has the best speed and power in this class in terms of projection for ceiling? Without the technique, though.
It's his first year rushing the passer. He played 35% of rushing the passer.
But you didn't
answer the question. You didn't answer the question though. Who has the potential for both?
Hold on, look, I have the answer. Listen, let me ask you this though. Hold on, because I'm thinking about that. I'm not trying to not answer your questions. I'm just thinking about this. David Bailey ran a 4.5, was clocked at 22 miles an hour plus.
Reese ran a 4.46.
Yeah, and Bailey said he could have ran a 4.48. So
and he also had a better and really quickly,
and Bailey's
faster on film. Bailey's faster on film. Reese had a better 40 time and a better 10-yard split, which indicates better acceleration. So even if Bailey's better on film, Reese is very close in terms of his explosion. He's an explosive player, and like part of it, and I can show you a clip, is like little nuances of like there's some recoil before he rushes because he's not been taught how to do that stuff. Like you don't want to have to recoil, you don't want to have to load up and then burst to the quarterback. You want to obviously be loaded up in your stance and then to rush the quarterback. So there's little minuscule things that with defensive line coaching he could do, and again, part of it's projection. Like when Bailey was 20 years old, he had 2.5 sacks. When he was 21 years old, he had 5 sacks. When he was, 22, he had 7 sacks. And again, he got pulled in run situations. So Reese is not a finished product, like no doubt. Like I'm not arguing today right now that Reese is a better pass rusher than Bailey. I'm talking about in terms of traits and ceiling. He has the ability for speed and power, where I don't think Bailey's ever going to be he's not nearly as powerful as Reese. I think we can both agree.
It's a little risky though, like just thinking out, just like us chopping it up about this. Isn't it risky to take a player like that second overall? Like
in terms of projecting?
You're projecting completely. We're like, but at least I know the ceiling might be higher as a rusher. I don't know. I don't think so, but I can get that argument. But like, dude, the floor, you're talking like dude, as an edge rusher, I'm talking, not as a football player.
But then he moves back to inside linebacker, and I think his floor. So his floor,
I think that's going to happen. By the way, I think that's going to happen.
Fine, I don't agree with you.
Not an ILB, but he'll be an off-ball ILB, OLB. He will not. Arvell Reese, I'll be on the record, will not be a full-time edge in the NFL in 2 or 3 years. I'm on the record. Again,
83 pass rush snaps, 18 pressures, 4 sacks. He had like a 20-something% pressure rate when he actually rushed the quarterback. So he produced when he did it.
Did you see Sonny Styles's?
I watched every single rep of
Sonny
Reese.
Styles has better edge pressure rate than Arvell Reese did rushing the passer.
But in terms of projection to the NFL, it's completely different though. He doesn't have nearly the power. He doesn't have nearly the power.
I'm with you there.
And then in terms of Bailey too, like with speed, you said bend, right? He doesn't have the best bend, and he doesn't have the best power. So he's not going to be able to bend as well. He's going to get pushed up the arc a little bit because he doesn't have the best power.
Reese doesn't have any bend though. Like as bad as David Bailey's bend is, Reese has less bend than Bailey, which is tough to do. I don't agree with that. Did you see that clip I showed you when Bailey's like literally, I mean, basically horizontal, it looks like, to the ground. I mean, he doesn't do it often because he gets a little bit but
with Reese, he also has the power, which softens the edge too. So you're not even have to bend as much again. And if you get pushed up the arc, who cares about bend? And I'm not saying it's bad. I don't think it's as bad as you think it does. Truly, I'm not just.
I just haven't
glazing Reese.
I don't. I really.
You're not going to see as many examples of it because he really rushed the passer.
Yeah, we're trying to be sold on this guy's going to be an edge rusher, which I think is one of the hardest things to do in football. And the guy has no proof that he's an edge rusher.
Yeah,
it's like waiting for the tooth fairy. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just don't buy it.
No, and we're gonna go over and he produced when he rushed the passer, and I see the traits, I see the speed. And you didn't answer that question, by the way. The speed and the power. Who has the highest potential?
Dude, I think Bailey's strong in different ways than Reese is. Reese.
What do you mean strong in different ways?
Dude, Bailey can jack somebody up. Literally,
yes.
Just the movement, like a push, and knock an offensive tackle 5 yards back and fall. Reese doesn't do that, but Reese is better in terms of his core strength and his base. He's got a better core base strength, but Bailey jacks up tackles and makes him look stupid.
From where his first game was against, was it Arc Pine State, like Arc Pine Bluff or whatever it is? Like, yeah, if you're blowing up players like that, it's a little bit different than.
He made the Kansas kid look like he didn't deserve to be a football player.
What about Utah?
He had a sack in the Utah game. He had a sack. And by the way, you're playing the two best tackles in college football.
We're gonna go over the film with that.
You ever see this thing? This guy did not give up a sack in 2 years, or gave up 1 sack in 2 years. That's what offensive tackles do. They don't get beat. That's why they're going in the first round. That's not and he had a sack in the game, actually. So Bailey had a sack against the studs out of Utah. So it's not like he didn't do anything. Tackles give up sacks. That's why they're going in the first round tackle.
We definitely don't agree. We definitely don't agree on the power thing. Oh, God.
All right.
Sorry,
spicy.
I'm like sweating.
Tanky V is sweating, folks. Joe Blewett, has he broken him? There'll be another round coming up shortly, but first, couple super chats I want to hit, and I have to get Asmaniac Madness underway because a lot of people are here for the Thunderlifts versus Leany battle for a chance at reaching the Sweet 16. That's coming up. But first, some super chats. Those always take priority. Big thank you to everyone who's watching the show. With the like button, make sure you guys are subscribed to all our content here. Lou B says, both wrong. Take Love and trade Breeze. PBM says, are there any examples of a player who had the dominant traits but not the stats in college and succeeded in the NFL as a star? The Jags with Walker. Yikes.
Are there any examples of a player who had the dominant traits but not the stats in college succeeding in the NFL? And like Walker is not. He's not like he doesn't get the sacks, but he's actually a relatively solid player with the Jaguars, and he also played more defensive end and stuff, so he had more experience in that way. And like people shit on Reese because of the versatility he had and act like it's a bad thing. Like I think it shows a lot that Patricia trusted him as much to play as versatile as he was. Like it's different when you're playing 65% linebacker snaps and 35% edge snaps and like showing that potential versus playing full-time edge for multiple years or whatever it is and then just going based on potential. Like the example of Deion Jordan isn't fair because he rushed the passer probably 500 more reps than Reese did, and he was 3 years older. Like Reese is going to gain another 10, 15 pounds probably of muscle. He's going to be completely different. Like if Reese were to go back to Ohio State for another year or two, I think he's a slam dunk #1 player that's not a quarterback in the draft. So part of it is projection because he's 20 years old and hasn't done it a lot. It's every situation's different.
Daniel Hunter, who Glenn, by the way, mentioned today, is a guy that fits the Reese profile for what it's worth.
Yeah, and I know people have brought up Micah Parsons is another one that they sort of moved around a bit. Now,
different players.
And Joe, I'd be so much more prone to agree with you with Reese at 2 if on film I saw Reese do things that Micah did. Now Reese does things.
They're different prototypes.
Yeah, Reese does things better than Micah. Reese can play the run and set an edge.
He's a lot more powerful.
Totally. Reese would grab Mike and throw him 10 yards if you wanted to. That's how strong he is. But he's not as slippery and as disruptive in the TFL department. Micah had a ton of forced fumbles. That's my point, though. I think Reese should be the 7, 8, or 9 pick, maybe the 5th pick, maybe even the 3rd pick. He should not be the 2nd pick due to positional value. He just shouldn't. I'm just not. I want to use Reese, or I would use Reese. And even if we draft Reese, I'm not even joking. We're probably going to draft him. Play him at off-ball linebacker. Play him the same way Matt Patricia did. I would not convert him to an edge, Joe. I'm just telling you, I see. And listen, you could always.
I think the NFL sees it differently than you do, though. Like clearly, based on where he's being projected.
Some people agree. Leisure Doozable agrees. I was watching. Jake's best friend there, Emmanuel Acho's podcast. I was watching his podcast and with him about that. He was not as impressed with Reese. And listen, as an edge, excuse me.
Okay.
Again, it's just what I see, man. And what the hell?
Sam says Frankie Bailey can't stop the dang run. Why should an incomplete player go #2? No heart. We hit on that before. Thank you, Sam. Adam is too cool. Rank the potential of Jermaine Johnson, Reese, Will McDonald, and Bailey. Joe, this one you can take.
Number one. He's the only. He's Jermaine Johnson does not have the burst even close to what Reese does. Will McDonald doesn't have close to the power that Reese does. He has the explosion, he has the bend, and Bailey doesn't have he has the speed, but he doesn't have the power. So Reese has the speed, the power. He's lacking the technique, but you could learn technique. You can't. It's really hard at times to learn power, to learn bend and stuff. He undoubtedly has the highest ceiling out of all of those guys. I don't think it's in question. And in terms of like, I don't know where Frankie went, but like Bailey versus Will McDonald is a speed rusher, but he also has the bend where Bailey doesn't have the bend that Will McDonald does. So I think Will McDonald actually has a higher like pass rush ceiling, even though Bailey versus Will McDonald 1-for-1. I'll take Bailey right now because Bailey's younger, more controllable years, all that stuff. So it's not a reason not to draft him. But I was going to bring this up before Jake came in with the bell. One of my problems with Bailey is, again, lack of bend, and neither of them are great with it. But how is his lateral agility, right? Like part of it is speed rushing to be able to cross their face, and I have a clip of it. His lateral agility is not really good, so he's gonna have to win with speed and technique purely. Like he doesn't have the ability to cross a guy's face very well. He doesn't have the ability, in my opinion, to blow a guy up and run through his chest. So he's gonna have to win pretty purely with speed, and he better win cleanly because
run through a guy's chest. listen, you're not the lateral stuff. I hear you on. I think it's overblown completely, but I hear you on that. The running through people. I don't know what edge rushers have you watched their tape like Bailey's and just blowing. Did you see what he did against Oregon? He was a game wrecker. Who does that?
I have clips of Will McDonald running through guys' chest, and we're never going to call him a power guy. It happens. It can happen some reps. Like
I don't remember Bailey did, dude. I'm just.
I have
honest.
clips of but at Iowa State he did. Like it's different when you're playing NFL tackles. You're playing Deion Dawkins versus again whatever tackle from Pine Bluff that he played. You know, like so. Yeah, he could do it. It's different at the NFL level though, right? Like and the Big 10 and Big 12 are different talent levels. And then they're both different from the NFL. So I don't think, again, part of this projection is not what you're doing versus some scrub tackle who's going to work at Costco in 3 years.
Dude, Tech played how many quality teams this year? Yeah, you're taking.
No, listen, and he did well versus Oregon. He even did. There were some reps against Utah, but it wasn't consistent enough where I could say, yeah, he has power.
The thing with the Utah film, I'll say it again. There's a reason first round tackles are first round tackles. They do not give up sacks. They all don't. You go to any year, they give up 2 sacks in 2 years, maybe 3. And Bailey actually had a sack in the game. So maybe the one that Lomo gave up was against him. I don't know, man. But again, I think the spin move, we can talk about it if you want, is not the cleanest I've ever seen in my life, but it's pretty tight enough that he can offset tackles. And I think he puts some tackles in fits, man, because they don't know where he's coming from. And he never stops. Dude, Bailey's motor, I'm play-by-play, never, and I'm not comparing it to anybody. I'm just talking about himself, never stops. That guy's combined his first step with his motor and his speed on the field that you said's better than Reese. I see a guy that's going to average 12 to 13 sacks. I just do. Is it the best pick in the world? No. Is it a home run at 2? No, this is not that kind of draft, but he's the best edge out of all these guys. And I'm just
as a rusher, maybe right now, even though I might take Bain there as well. But part of my problem is projection. Again, you need the power at the NFL level, at least some semblance of it. If you don't have power, you better have bend. And if you don't have bend, you better have lateral agility. And he doesn't have either one of those things. So it's pretty purely speed with him, which is he better win really, really cleanly. And your technique better be elite if you're going to win like that at the NFL level. So like when people talk about him, oh, I don't want Reese because he's guaranteed to be a 13 sack guy. I don't know if you agree with that. I don't think you could say, oh, he's guaranteed to be a 13 sack guy. You can't say that with anybody. Like Abdul Carter got how many sacks last year? Jake's great with stats, like 2 or 3 sacks last year, right? Like, so you can't just say, oh, he's automatically guaranteed to get 12 sacks. Because if he was, he would be the number 2 overall pick, slam dunk. Nobody would be talking about Arvell Reese right now, but it's not a guarantee. And I have plays where I'm going to pull up the pass rush where I have concerns because part of the problem with him is, and it's not going to work at the NFL level consistently, is he relies on his speed so much that he expects hands quickly. When those hands don't come quickly, he struggles because he's just so used to beating guys with speed. He's not going to be able to do that at the NFL level as consistently as he does at Texas Tech.
Joe, let's get into that just 1 second, guys, because I got people that paid for their comments, and I want to make sure that we acknowledge that. Flight Risk Jet says, Tanky says, bend and size matters. Flight Risk in the well worth pausing the debate for this comment. In the raffle for 2. Ricky NY says, Tanky avoids and evades rather than taking questions head on. He really is a Bailey fan. I see it now.
I'm sorry, everyone that came into this loving Arvell Reese. Sometimes have an open mind about things. It's okay. I don't need to convince you, but just because you like a guy and you're biased, you can sometimes see the other side. Life isn't always about what you thought. You can change.
Nick M in the raffle for 2. I think they'll both be good, but Reese will at the minimum be an amazing Swiss Army knife. I will take that guy. I will take that over a guy who could be a great rusher or McDonald's / just an average pass rusher. And then Gary 3D Boxing writes in, Frankie's winning this. Joe wants to draft the guy number 2 overall and then change him into something he isn't. That's too risky to do at 2nd overall.
But with that being said, it's not like he wasn't that at all with Ohio State. When he did it again, he had a really high pass rush rate. So it's not like it's a complete projection because when he does it, he's good at it.
I'll say this. Why aren't enough people that want Arvell Reese at 2 okay with saying, and I can buy this point, by the way, I don't trust David Bailey as an edge for whatever reason. I don't trust Bain. We know the arm stuff, and he's had some injuries. I don't want a receiver that high, and Sonny Styles is actually a linebacker. I want Arvell Reese and turn him into the Swiss Army knife that Matt Patricia did and clean up everything. That's a better argument to me, Joe and Jake, than Arvell Reese is going to come here and be an edge at 2. I'm just being honest. And I'm just throwing that out there. Like, I think it's like process of elimination at that spot.
He's going to be an edge who's going to play some linebacker reps. Like in base downs, you can play him an outside linebacker, and then in certain situations, like let's say it's 3rd and 2, and you want to get some more beef on the field. You take Sherwood out of the game. He plays inside linebacker. You ask him to plug the A or the B gap. You have Briggs, Phillips, and Sweat on the defensive line with him and Demario Davis as a stand-up inside linebackers. You know, it's like he's very versatile. So I get Gary's point. Like it's all about projection, but that's part of what the NFL draft is. And there's a reason that the NFL and he's like the betting favorites, because he's going to be that edge player, but he's not going to be strictly edge. Like he's going to be mostly edge who can play some inside linebacker reps, and he's going to give you a ton of versatility. Like he could do, you know, so many different things. So yeah, but Jake, can you pull up my screen, by the way, so we can talk about some of the pass rush with David Bailey?
Yes, I can. But first, let's get voting for Asmaniac Madness underway. And before we do that, here is a campaign video from the Thunder Lips campaign.
I'm from Melissa's dad. I'm from under.
Hey, real quick, if there's kids around, I didn't have time today to bleep out all the curses. So if there's kids, lower the volume. This is not safe for work.
I'm from Melissa's dad. I'm from under Melissa's dad. Thunder Lips, I'm your fucking father.
No way. You kidding me? She was juiced. She just knocked out the 1 seed. She was loaded up. Come on.
It was a low dose of a beaver tranquilizer. I thought.
Following review, Leany is officially disqualified from the Asmaniac Madness tournament and barred from future events pending reinstatement.
It wasn't about getting an edge. It was for my diverticulitis. I destroyed 4 sets of bed sheets. My bathroom smells like Thailand. Beaver tranquilizer helps.
Thunderlips is an American hero, not because he says he is, because everyone else does. He loves the New York Jets, and he loves a rowdy little family that calls itself the Asmaniacs. 8 days a week, he visits orphanages, not to adopt, just to show the kids what a real dad looks like.
Hi, I'm Thunderlips. I've never shit my pants from diverticulitis, ever. Vote for clean underwear. Vote for Thunderlips.
Paid for by the people who...
I got urinary tract infections. I got STDs. I want you to fucking vote for Thunder Lips. I don't give a fuck. I'll kiss your ass.
I don't know how we come back from that to some serious football talk, but voting is underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
Vote. Your vote determines who advances to the Sweet 16. Tomorrow on the show, it's Adam and Papa Jet. That's in the morning. In the afternoon, it's Mad Max, an Australian Jet fan. All right, now let's get to the film portion of this debate. For Arvell Reese and David Bailey fans out there, Joe Blewett, for those just tuning in, is backing Reese. Frankie V is backing Bailey. So, Joe, I'm going to pull up what you're screen sharing whenever you have it.
I'll screen share it in a second. And part of the thing with Reese is, like, again, it's the versatility. Like, you can use him on tag rushes, you can use him on hug rushes, you can use him on torch stunts, on simulated pressures, on pick stunts. We have a bunch of athletic quarterbacks in our division with Allen, with May, with Malik Willis. You can use him in that way. Like, he's just so versatile. So that's what I truly do. Again, really like about him. But let me pull up some. And again, like, with the point about like projection, like part of Bailey is projection too, in terms of like, he's automatically going to be a 12 sack guy. What happens if he's a 7 sack guy and is a DPR and he's not offering you anything in the run, right? Like, everything is projection with these players. Just assuming that Bailey is going to come into the Jets and get 10+ sacks a year, I think is a massive reach. And again, part of it is lacking the power, lacking the bend, lacking the lateral agility. So it's going to be
a year in the NFL for Bailey's a reach.
No, I'm saying to assume he's automatically going to get you 12 sacks a year.
We can't assume
to say, he's going to walk in and get you 12 sacks. Like, what happens if he walks in? And again, we're talking about floors and stuff where Reese's floor, I think, is a little bit underrated in terms of like, he could be a really good run defender and a guy who can win with power. And I'm not comparing him one-to-one with these guys, but like, like I don't know, like a hybrid between like a Jadeveon Clowney, Anthony Barr type player who can get you 5-6 sacks a year with power and be a really good run defender. Whereas Bailey's floor could be a guy who can't win with just purely his speed and is a DPR who gets you, 5, 6, 7 sacks a year. And what's more valuable in terms of floors?
Let me ask you a question. If Reese's ceiling is not Micah Parsons, because we just agreed that they're different, and I agree with you. Bodies, composition, they're different kind of linebackers. Who could Arvell Reese be as an edge in the NFL? Because from what I'm hearing, he's going to set his own standard. That's and that's a tough thing to bank on. You could be right. I mean, who knows? Maybe we're talking in 10 years about who's the next Arvell Reese, but it's like him and the Parsons thing is not fair because they're completely different players. Where Parsons is more bendy, he's more twitchy, but he doesn't. He has a lot more power. Recognize that, by the way. That's because a lot of people online just think, oh, he's going to be Micah Parsons. Like,
I think it's more about like, hey, he was a linebacker who then became more of a full-time DN than it is like, hey, traits 1-for-1. They're directly comparable. So I think the ceiling is similarly high because he doesn't have the bend or the twitch, but he's a lot more power. So he can run through a guy's face where Parsons isn't going to be able to do it as consistently. But again, part of it is projection with Bailey as well with the pass rush. And that's what I want to talk about is like with that speed, typically it's followed with bend or with lateral agility. And I don't think he has that. And then a part of it is I see plenty of rushes with Bailey where if those hands aren't shot from the tackle right away because they're afraid of not being able to get their hands on him because he's so fast and they can't match with their base, he could struggle a little bit. So what's going to happen at the NFL level when guys can get on him? Now, I'm not saying every tackle is going to be able to get out on him, but it's not going to be with the frequency at the collegiate level where guys can't get out on him. So I want to show, I have 10 plus clips of I'm going to talk about just straight bad rushes that he has, and then I can actually show you some sacks where I just don't think it would translate into the NFL level just because the guy's feet were so damn slow, or just beat straight up bad technique with like punches and stuff like that. So we can do that as well. But what I want to start with him is just him expecting hands, and when they're not there, he could struggle or just purely trying to win with speed. So Jake, I don't know if you have my screen up.
You are all set. And just to give you an idea on some timing, Joe, about 30 minutes left in this debate here.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna run through a lot of this stuff.
Go all day. We're feeling this.
Oh, I know that, and that's what I'm worried about. This literally could go 24 hours if I didn't say that.
Yeah. See, like, okay, so
that's a nice pressure right there.
Yeah, well, it's
a nice pressure.
It's not a pressure. He's pushed past.
What are you talking about?
The quarterback.
Joe, you think he's going to get a sack every play?
He's 2 yards past the quarterback. And what I'm talking about here, and I have plenty of reps here. What the problem here is, he's immediately anticipating the hands. When tackles have patient hands, he's going to get pushed up the arc. Gets pushed up the arc because he anticipates the hands. I don't
know in what world. Listen, come on, Joe. That's not a bad rep.
But he didn't get to the quarterback. Why? Because he anticipated the hands. Here, what happens with him? I think is this Utah?
Yeah.
Is it Utah? I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
I think it is. That's Fano, isn't it? 55 right there.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Rep. Again, he rushes up the arc. Let's see. Rushes up the arc. Anticipates the hands. It looks like he just flashes a little bit to the inside. He anticipates the hands coming. When the hands don't come, he looks like he's going to go to swipe with that outside hand, and then the rush becomes him missing with the outside hand, and then turning into a one arm, long arm here, and then he gets completely locked down. So again, part of it is him anticipating hands, and when they're not there, he struggles to counter because he's so used to just beating guys straight up with speed.
Fano's listen, man. Fano's got great technique there, man.
I'm gonna keep running through them just because of.
No. You're right. I mean, listen. Listen, Joe. The thing is, how many edge rushers, right? How many rushes do they get a game? Let's say they get
Yeah, but I'm talking specifically about
plays
about
that
weaknesses.
where you disengage and it's like, all right, next, I got to go to the next one. I'm not going to, do something
just
every
like this
play.
one. Okay, pushes. This time he's pushing up the arc again. Anticipates the hands because of the speed. The hands aren't there, and then he just turns it into, okay, I'm gonna stick my elbow out, try to shove it into his chest, and get completely locked down here. Why? Again, he anticipates speed because, he anticipates hands because of his speed.
He did listen. The hand stuff is right with what you're saying with him wanting the hands, but that's not the worst counter back in the world. He didn't stalemate the guy. There is some pressure there in the pocket, right? There's something there. No, I mean, is it that bad?
After how many seconds, and he's flattening, but that's not a true pressure. That's not anything. He gets locked up there.
He gets locked up, but he's also moving backwards. Fannel's feet are going backwards, dude.
What do you
He's going
mean?
backwards. Fannel, look at where Fannel starts in that clip and stop it where he ends. Like
he's getting pushed backwards, but you're going to get pushed backwards. It's all about, okay, are you getting there within 2 or 3 seconds? And he's not even close to getting there within 2 or 3 seconds.
That's what's
okay. So now then we're going. I have a play of Bull Rush. This is versus Arc Pine Bluff, which I didn't even know that school existed before this happened. But watch the Bull Rush here in terms of like how he sets it up. So what are you seeing with this rep in terms of the Bull Rush? Frankie?
Dude, it's just a rep, man. It's just.
I know, but I'm talking about technique wise. What are you seeing with this rep in terms of technique?
I don't know what he's trying to do there. I have no idea.
One, he's very high into the rep, right? Like he's
not a good rep.
He's standing pretty much straight up. And then part of it too is he doesn't always set up his bull rush with angles, right? Like if you're going to bull rush a guy, if you want to take it hard outside track, get him on his heels and then bull rush him, fine. But you can't just take a straight angle, have your feet still going vertically and then turn into a guy. You have to have your feet under you when you're bull rushing.
What about the back? Do you think the back?
And you also have to have leverage.
Do you think the back coming out of the backfield there sort of
but that would be even more reason for him to have a plan to turn it inside. Like that should be part of the plan.
I don't know what I don't know.
That'd be like pre-snap recognition. And again, part of it is you need to have your feet working inside and underneath the guy. You don't want your base going vertical and then turning into a guy and then being as high as he is into a bull rush. Sorry.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though: how many edge rushers have reps like this? Like we make it seem like, of course, you're going to have reps where you really do a whole lot of nothing. That's what being an edge is. They got you. They got good leverage. Like you're not getting a pressure every time you're rushing. Like
listen,
thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
You people just inspired Mimosa to send in a $200 super chat.
Oh my Lord.
Unbelievable. Mimosa, thank you so much. Great to have
we
you
both
back.
go in the hole?
I mean, look, if Mimosa wants that, I guess, but dinner's on me, boys. All right. Check your Venmos after the show. Incredibly kind of Mimosa to do this. She's a longtime viewer of the show. Shout out to you, Mimosa. I know you've been dealing with a lot of stuff behind the scenes. You haven't been able to be in the live chat as much, but I know you're always listening. Just an unbelievable super chat. For those in audio who can't see the screen, watching these two cuties debate makes me smile. I don't think either is convincing the other one of anything. Mimosa, very kind. That is 40 raffle tickets for Mimosa. We're going to raffle away a signed Wayne Corbett football at the end of the show. All right. I had to shout out Mimosa because that was unbelievable. And now you two could get right back to screaming at each other. Wait for the bell.
Okay. Yeah. And again, like, so Frankie, I hear you, like, you're not going to get to the quarterback 500, times, but part of it is like, okay, where are the weaknesses? And you have to see it rep after rep after rep. And I saw it enough reps from like, hey, he's not an automatic transition to getting 12 sacks a year, right? Like, I think if he's anticipating hands and they're not going to be there, he could struggle at the NFL level. So you have to consider that. You have to consider the lateral agility. You have to consider the lack of power, and the power through his bend and his bend in general. You know, I do think his spin move, yeah, it flashes sometimes, but like in terms of like relentless motor and how he sets up this spin move, look like again, what are we seeing in terms of this rep from him versus is it Lemieux or what the hell is his name, the left tackle from Utah here?
Caleb Lomu.
Okay, yeah. So
by the way, I'm just saying, if you have any more reps like the Arc Pine one you just had, I'd love to see that. I don't even know if you have it now or whenever, DM it to me or send it to me. Like, because I agree with the leverage points there, not on point.
I have bull rushes where he won, where it's not good technique. He's just playing a horrific tackle. I have bull rush reps, no doubt. But this one, the setup is terrible here. Like he's not coming off the ball fast at all here. So what you want, if you're gonna spin to
he's trying to do a hezzy.
If he hezzies and accelerates hard and then spins inside, it's fine. But there's a hezzy and there's no vertical push there. And he tries to spin into a guy and he doesn't even get close to winning this rep in terms of spin. He gets absolutely locked up there. So the plan here is this is a horrific rush plan attempt from Bailey, right? Like there's no speed there. There's no speed there. If he accelerated and then spun, it's different.
Yeah, it was a lazy rep too. I mean,
but he plays hard every single rep.
That was one of the few that I've seen that he completely.
This is one where he's lacking lateral agility. Okay, so it's something you need in the NFL level. Again, if you're going to be able to beat guys with speed and they get out on you really quickly, or they vertical set and they're oversetting, you want to be able to cross guys' face. And you're going to see in this rep how bad this tackle looks horrific, and he's not able to cross this tackle's face. So again, are you going to be able to do it versus And I know it's a little bit grainy. This one, the film was not the best in this game.
That's not bad, Joe.
What do you mean it's not bad?
Look at where he ends up. Look, stop right there. He's right. I mean, listen, I don't know if he's not looking at the quarterback all the time, but he's trying to get in the backfield and force a pressure. He ends up literally over where the quarterback's starting with the ball. The quarterback is going to his left a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes you have to shuffle and move out of the way. But when you're playing Oklahoma State versus this tackle, you're going to hope that he's going to be able to beat this guy. And again, part of the problem here is I'm not even talking like, okay, it's more about the lateral agility here. And look how high the tackle is and how bad the feet are from the tackle. He's standing straight up. Like you'd hope that he'd be able to beat him pretty cleanly. But look at the lack of burst in terms of getting lateral. That's the main point of this, is like he doesn't have the best agility to pair with the speed. So you want speed and agility. And this is not a convincing rep or a good rep in terms of the lateral agility that he lacks. So like, yeah.
What do you want him to do on that rep? Do you want him to bull rush the guy because he noticed that he was light on his feet? Just go right at him right there?
You could bull.
He's not going to go around the guy there.
Okay, well,
the guy's oversetting, so he's going inside. Yes. Yeah, maybe a bull rush straight, but
bull rush or defeating the inside arm. Don't let that inside arm attach to you. So if you're gonna try to cross his face, beat the inside arm. He doesn't beat the inside arm. He gets attached, and then he flattens him and pushes him past the quarterback. So you want to see him be more ready for that inside hand. But the point of this was just the projection, the lack of lateral agility. If you can't cross this tackle's face, who is standing as high as I've almost ever seen, that are going to be able to beat Deion Dawkins or whoever else it may be. So the main point of that one,
if that quarterback though holds onto the ball for another 1/10 of a second and doesn't shimmy a little bit to his left, that's a pressure right in the quarterback's face, right? Like you understand that right there. I'm just saying, like you're not going to always be at the right spot. It's not a perfect rep. No one's perfect, but you realize that, right? If the quarterback stays right there and he holds it for just. I mean, that's what edges do. You put yourself in more
Frankie, the main point of the rep was to show the lack of lateral agility and the lack of plan crossing the guy's face. Like, yeah, he might have created a little bit of a rush versus wherever this left tackle is from Oklahoma State, I believe it is, but this is not even close to an NFL player. So he like slightly, but you're gonna have movement.
What do you want him to do there? You want him to go around the phone booth and get a sack on the quarterback? Like what is
Frankie, you said it. You said it. Bull rush him. Look. Hands. Yeah, you can bull rush the chest is wide open. He's standing straight up here. So either bull rush him, and again, the main point of it was not even the plan or anything like that. It was the lack of lateral agility, right? Like you could see the lack of lateral agility, which is the problem when you're projecting. So that's the main issue. And yeah, you could talk about the technique. Either bull rush him, or if you're going to cross his face, you have to be ready for that inside arm. He's not. He just tries to club him. Doesn't and isn't able to get rid of that inside hand. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Okay, the main point was lateral agility. Bad rush versus Lemieux. Okay, this is one where he has really no plan at all. Rushes up the arc, just holding his hands out, maybe anticipating hands coming earlier, which again is a problem nonetheless. Hands are just left out there to dry. Lemieux is a guy like, look, the hands are out there for a couple of steps, just out there to dry. Leaning into him a little bit, gets chopped and thrown to the ground. So like, what's the plan? What's the plan from Bailey here? So my problem is just saying Bailey, 12, 13 sacks guaranteed. Like,
Joe, I'm just saying, Joe. I'm just saying this. I don't think these clips, just showing clips like this, it's a little bit biased when you're because this edges fall on the floor all the time. It's part of the game. You're not right. No. Are we going to show the sack he had against Utah, or we're just going to ignore
Frank,
that?
My main point of this is to show.
Okay.
My main point was to show that
it's not completely in good faith with those kind of clips, though, because you could do that, Joe, with any edge in football. Any edge. If I have an all 22, I will go. You know,
Frankie,
that.
but I put out reviews, and I'm generally very fair in them, and these are legitimate questions I had with him. I'm not just trying to pull stuff to dunk. These are legitimate questions I have where I question the lateral agility, which I showed you reps of. I question even the spin move. I don't think it's as good as some people think it is. I question the bull rush. Like, this is stuff it's legitimately there. I'm not just trying to pull one. That's why I'm pulling multiple clips of this stuff. Like, this is a rep versus him against a tackle from whatever, or a tight end versus whatever school he's playing. Like, you're going to hope that he could beat a tackle. And he forces a step up here, but why are we not beating this outside hand? And he gets pushed up the arc. You're talking about what this is. Let's call this the 50. He gets engaged at the 45-yard line. He gets pushed all the way to the 40-yard line. He gets pushed 5 yards up the arc by a tight end who looks like he's a receiver. Like, why are we not trying to defeat that outside hand of the or either why aren't we, or why didn't we defeat that outside hand? In terms of like, he's the best pass rusher, he's going to automatically get 12 sacks. Why are we losing reps versus tight ends?
Joe, he's a speed rusher first and foremost. Okay. He's a speed first step guy, and he can be a little bit undisciplined, which I'll give you. I'll give you the undisciplined in his technique. You're going to get these reps though when you're talking about Nick Bonito. You know how many Nick Bonito against the Patriots? I was looking right. He didn't have a tackle the whole game, right? They were killing Will McDonald. You know how many plays I saw? Because I actually liked Will Campbell, excuse me. Or I was looking into him a little bit, and I looked into that film. You know how many reps Nick Bonito had against Will Campbell, just like the one you just showed, where he just goes right around them? That's what speed rushers do. Because then if the quarterback does go step a little back, or they have a little bit of leverage, they're going to get a sack one time.
He defeats the outside. He defeats the outside arm there, and he probably gets a sack, but he has no plan to defeat the outside arm. Like, this is another one where
when you're speed rushing, what do you want the guy to do? Stop in his track on a speed rush and do an inside spin move? Like, what is
when you're speed rushing versus a tight end, you'd hope he defeat the outside arm at the minimum. He didn't get close to defeating the outside arm. What?
You say beat the outside arm and then
bend, turn the corner, flatten, and get the sack. He didn't defeat the arm. Like, you can't just say I'm going to win purely with speed and not even need to defeat the outside arm. Like, that was a bad rep versus a tight end. And this is another one where I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, is he anticipating hands? Like, he comes off the ball, and I think at this point he's anticipating the hands. But once he kind of circle punches a little bit right there, he has no plan for the hands. He lands the hand directly into the hip and then just pushes him up the arc. So I have a problem with Bailey, with guys who have patient hands and good feet. That's one of my biggest problems with him, is he just anticipates hands quickly. If not, he doesn't have a ton of counters to not with patient hands and with good feet.
Yeah, I think it's funny actually that 80% of these clips are him versus Spencer Fano and Caleb Lomu, both of which are going to be first round picks at tackle. Just throwing that out.
Okay, and
I'm just saying.
Who is this tight end, Frankie?
I have no idea. Who he is?
Okay, and he's losing that. Like, this is not
that's not a complete zero of a rep though, Joe. It's not perfect.
Frankie. This is a horrible rep. Let's be real here. Look how delayed he is off the ball too, because of the play action. Like, he's rushing straight up the arc. Like,
it's undisciplined. It is.
It's not undisciplined. It's not a good plan. It's not undisciplined. He's trying to rush the quarterback. I'm fine with him rushing the quarterback and trying to get there. But the problem is what. How are we letting this hand land? Like this is not a good rep.
When you have it, when you bring up his sacks though, him finishing, do you critique his technique when he finishes like you do when he's, because like, dude, someone I don't know, someone in the comments just said something. I just
I can't see. I haven't seen the comments. And by the way, part of
it takes you'll have 100 bad reps a year
Mm-hmm.
At edge in the NFL, but it's the 15 that are right that offsets every bad one. Like, and that's kind of Bailey. Like, you're gonna get. I told people you're gonna give up an outside zone run against him, and he's gonna give up a 60-yard run on you. That's gonna happen.
But that sounds awful. That sounds awful.
But he's gonna force a fumble that Arvell Reese hasn't been able to do once in college. He'll force a fumble. He's got 10 of them in 4 years. He got 5 the year before last. Like, that's the stuff, Joe. No one's perfect. If David Bailey was a little bit more disciplined and had a little bit better of an anchor, he might be going first overall. Just throwing that out there.
Well, and he's a smarter football player too. And again, part of it is projection, right? And like watching some of these reps, if you see it time, I'm not gonna say it's littered, but it's enough where you're gonna note it and be like, hey. And what I'm trying to do, Frankie, I'm not trying to necessarily dunk on him. I'm just trying to show some clips where it's like, hey, he's not guaranteed to be a 10+ sack guy. Like that doesn't exist. So I'm trying to show some of the weaknesses, and some of it's the lateral agility. Some of it's depending on the hands to be there when they're not having a counter. Some of it's throwing untimely spin moves. Sometimes it's him not having the best tackle radius because he can't move very well.
Can you share my screen? Is it possible, Jake? Can I show one quick thing? Because I don't have a clip of Reese doing what I'm about to show. If it's possible, if I could show one clip. Jake.
Yeah, so let's do the old clip substitute here in this battle. We've never seen a debate quite like this in the YouTube space. We're going to the clip bullpen. Tanky V's clip is now on the screen.
So Bailey, listen, doesn't have the greatest bend in the world. There's some bend there. Would you agree? There's some. Like, Joe, look at that. Is there some bend? Is there some bend here? Because I don't have Reese. A clip like this, I don't have anything. Look at that. Look at that. Look at where he is, Bailey, off the line, and look at where the rest of that defensive line is. Look at that.
He has explosion. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that.
Look at that. That's not bend right there.
I can only show bits and pieces at a time because it's a broadcast copy.
Yeah, and also when you he has more reps to show it, or he has more pass rush reps to be able to pull from to show, okay, yeah, he has some bend. Like I see Reese having they're neither of them are good at bend. We can agree with that, right? But Reese is the better overall athlete, like no doubt about it, in terms of the twitch, in terms of the movement, in terms of the tackle radius. Like that rep I just showed, like he got dodged by the quarterback because he just doesn't have the best movements. Where is that play that I just that was play 16, right? Like we didn't comment on this because can you see my screen?
Let me
Jake,
pull it up. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, right. Like this is again, and he gets there, right? He beats the tight end, great. He beats the tight end, but part of the problem is the tackle radius. Like how good are quarterbacks in the NFL level? How athletic are these guys? Drake May, Willis, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, all these guys that we're going to be playing this year. Caleb Williams, who are really athletic. They're more athletic than
like that. It happens, man. And you're playing. I mean, you're playing edge, dude.
Look, Frankie. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm showing you the talent.
I would have been sacked 15.5 if he got that one. So
I know, but part of the problem is part of the problem is the lack of movement skills. I'm not saying he doesn't lose reps, but you could clearly see he does not move the best. That's part of the problem, right? I have 2 more plays, and then we can get over. We can or like 2 or 3 more plays, and we can. I know we're pushing Jake for time here, but again, this is part of the one where he's anticipating hands, right? Rushes a little bit, flashes the chest to him. Anticipating the hands being there. The tackle has decent feet. He's not shooting the hands. Attaches to Bailey, and you're talking about him getting pushed up the arc, right? Because he's anticipating the hands are not there. And what's the plan here from Bailey? So my part of the problem is the people who say, "Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna get a sack." That's all I'm trying to show. Same thing here, where I don't know what the plan is to defeat the hands. The hands land on him, doesn't win there.
I have a question. Who had the number one? Bailey had the most sacks, I think, in college football last year, right?
I'm not a big college football guy, to be completely.
And I know he had the highest pass rush grade. So my whole point is, like, there are deficiencies, like in every player. But if we're just looking at the negative clips and that's all you're seeing, and people online are just seeing that, all the negative clips, you're not going to have any perspective on what he does. That's when he wins and what he can do really well.
Do you want to look at reps where he wins, but it's not the best, but it's not versus good tackles?
But I'm saying, Joe, it's not. I could bring up clips of Arvell Reese, not even getting close to the quarterback. I wish I could find the clip of him, getting to the quarterback with, through contact or using a pass rush plan. There's none. So I don't know, man.
Not having a pass rush plan?
He doesn't have a pass rush plan. I've never seen Arvell Reese play edge and get to the quarterback with a plan. Move one doesn't work, I go to 2 or 3. I've never seen it.
You're talking about counters.
There you go. Yeah.
What were I just brought examples of him not having counters when he initially anticipates hands. And there's plenty of that. I have more of that. So I don't think Bailey has the best counters either. So and listen, Bailey's a better rusher right now, but he has again, it's 6 to 7 times more pass rush reps, and he played the end where Reese was not. He was coached up as a linebacker and never had the defensive line reps to really hone in on his craft. I could show you reps where again he's coming off the ball, but he has so much recoil that he's not getting there quickly because he's never been coached properly to do it. So part of it is projection, no doubt, but he has the highest ceiling as a pass rusher. And again, my concern with Bailey is if he can't win purely with speed and he doesn't have the bend or the lateral agility to pair with that speed, there's a possibility he's a DPR who gets you 5-6 sacks a year, and that's all he is. He doesn't even play on run reps, where Reese is a guy who can get you 5-6 sacks as well because of the power, but he's also going to be elite in the run game, and that's a more valuable player. So I think he has a much higher floor than a Bailey does.
I want to do something next week, Jake, if Joe would like to do it. Let's do the next. I want to do a debate. I want to prove to you guys Patrick Mahomes is terrible. He sucks. I'm going to come up with a highlight tape or low light tape video. By the time I'm done with that video, you guys will think Patrick Mahomes the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, again, Frankie, I'm bringing up. It's not just losing reps. I'm bringing up specific concerns I have. It's not just saying, oh well, he lost the rep. He lost
against Ark-Pine State. That one rep. Listen, you're not stupid. I never said you're smart. You're a very smart guy.
I'm a jackass.
Sometimes. I'm joking. No, listen, man.
Listen, hey, Frankie, if we want to do that, if you want, I won't unleash the grenade, but some of the stuff I was talking about, tag rush, hug rush, torch stunts, we can start getting to what exactly those are. And I don't think we're going to want to do that.
Well, I was going to ask you a question. Okay. The last 4 teams, the final 4 teams in the playoffs this year, right? The last 4 teams, Seattle, Denver, Rams, and Patriots. Look at who their linebackers were, and I don't know if you know many of them, but go through those rosters, right? My point is, there's a reason why a guy that's an off-ball linebacker is not as valuable as an edge. And at the end of the day, Joe, I cannot get behind
an outside linebacker than an edge.
An off-ball linebacker is not as valuable as an edge.
But you can win. We already litigated that. Already said that they're going to try to play him an outside linebacker, and then if he fails to play more inside linebacker, well, he'll still be really good.
But you're drafting a guy second, Joe. That I'm just saying. The point is, look at the teams that were in the Super Bowl too. Do you know Seattle's linebackers that they had that were playing in that game? Do you know Patriots linebackers? Do people out there know who they were? We know a few of them, Ernest Jones, whomever, but do we know? No, because if the defense,
but you're automatically assuming the floor.
Well, I just assume. Well, I'm not even assuming the floor. I just think he's a linebacker. I just don't see him as an edge. That's my whole point.
But the NFL does, and he's going to work there first.
The NFL, who's the NFL? The NFL is a single person.
There's a reason that all the prognosticators have him at 2. If he was just going to be a linebacker, he wouldn't be the number 2 overall pick. That's not what's going to happen.
I think there's definitely
because I'm sure we both like Styles, right? But the reason you're not going to take Styles there is because he's automatically going to, and you might be better at this than I am, or maybe Jake is, but when you take a linebacker at 2 overall, you're automatically a top 10 paid inside linebacker, right? And that's probably why not Styles has to be elite as soon as you draft him. Reese is not going, they're going to try to make him, not try to make him fail, but they're going to let him fail to inside linebacker. They're going to work him as an outside linebacker. That's going to be what he's going to primarily be. And then he's going to have the versatility to, again, do those torch stunts and those, all the things I was talking about, pick stunts, all that stuff. in certain rush situations until his rush game develops. So I think initially he'll be an outside linebacker who sets the edge in the run game, and then they'll use him creatively until he develops the pass rush plan. But again, 83 true rush attempts, he had a higher than 20% pressure rate, and that's without coaching. So I'm anticipating, okay, Carl Dunbar, 200, 300, 400 reps of pass rush. I'm not looking at Reese and saying he's a finished product. And again, like I know, I'm showing bad reps, and if you want to say call it cherry picking, whatever, I'm bringing up legitimate concerns where I'm showing you rep after rep. I'm concerned about the lateral agility, the tackle radius, the plan. So I'm just trying to show that I don't think he's some guy who's guaranteed to get you 10 plus sacks. That was the main point of that exercise for me.
I wonder with Reese, my biggest question, and like really where I just lean Bailey clearly, is outside linebacker, 3rd and 14. You got to get to the quarterback.
How do you get into 3rd and 14 though? Did you stop the run?
I mean,
is he on the bench?
Make it 3rd and 7, make it 2nd and 10. They're passing the ball. I don't know. I'm just saying like that.
Yeah, I know, but is my problem with that is Agnagbari and Osai the ones on the defensive line who are going to get it there? Like it's not going to be Bailey who's going to. They're going to rush at Bailey all day long.
But if you put a 5 tech though next to Bailey in a 3-4, like
so you have to be specific and try to not get him those matchups, which is not great.
Yeah, but listen, he's an edge. I mean, like,
and he's going to get kicked out. Obviously, if they're running that way, it's not just going to be tackle versus 5 tech. You can pass off that. You can pass off the 5 tech to the guard. Yeah, there's design for that. He's not going to be playing straight up tight ends. That's not going to happen.
You know, at the most run stops in college football last year at edge, Zion Young, who's considered a very good run stopper. You know, who was 2nd in run stops out of all of college football last year out of edges was David Bailey. David Bailey was 2nd in run stops. So he does go around a little bit too much. I'll give you that.
And you said 60, 70 yard runs, which is not great.
Listen, if he goes to the NFL and he's going to be a premier D end or at edge in certain spots, I'll probably give up a big run here and there. I
don't think he's on the field though. Like the first year, I don't think he's on the field in run situations.
You're not looking at the big picture though. The bigger picture is when you can get to the quarterback. You know, I remember when I was in high school.
The big picture is the overall game, not just 3rd and 14.
Well, what I'm saying is I remember when I was playing football, and I actually played edge in college, right? I went to Colgate. I played edge there, or played 3 tech and a little bit edge. You know who the best edges are? Guys that can leverage and feel points and are like wrestlers. They just have something about them that they know how to do it. It's easier, I think, to teach Bailey how to be a little bit more disciplined in the run game, get your technique down, get your feet proper, get a good base.
So you think it's all his technique? There's no power behind it either. He doesn't get driven out by tight ends.
Dude, Bailey squats almost 600 pounds. He was on Bruce Feldman's.
It's completely different than football.
How strong
movement.
David Bailey is, dude. David Bailey is a strong man. His technique's all over the place when he's setting any edges. But Bailey's not Will McDonald, man. And I know you admitted that he wasn't early with me.
He's not. They're different players.
But I'm saying, like, he's not Aaron Maben. Like, he's not, trust me. He's really not built that way. He's kind of built the opposite.
I think he has more potential in the run game, but that's with a team like the Titans, who are going to be more attack first than really react. When you ask Bailey to react and read things and anchor down his base, regardless of what he squatting is different than football strength. He gets driven out by plenty of guys where again, I even show the run plays. We can show run plays where I can show him getting absolutely demolished in the run game. I have plenty of that. It's like I'm trying to show the pass rush. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to relitigate that stuff because we know he's not good in the run game. So my problem is, where are you playing him with Will McDonald? Like, if you have him and Will McDonald on the field, you're not going to be able to rush the passer because it's going to be consistently 2nd and 3, and the ball's going to be out in 3 steps.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is kind of, I don't know if you want to bring up anything else. I actually enjoyed this, to be honest. I think it's good. I mean, it's good perspective. Like, there's things you're showing me that I'd like to see, and I'm sure vice versa, maybe. But I'll say this, right? When I looked at all the edges in this class, or I looked at all the defensive players, you go down the list and you look at what these edges specifically are doing. R. Mason Thomas, Zion Young, Akeem Messidor, like, just go down the list, right? Arvell Reese, although the edge snaps are limited, 88 or whatever. I have 113 total, like, off the edge kind of rush snaps. Dude, you just put on Bailey and he looks like somebody that I can see getting 10 sacks a year in the NFL confidently. Most of the guys I brought up never got 10 sacks in a season in college. So like, he's the one that got 14 and a half this past year. He had a ton of forced fumbles, ton of TFLs, and for the run deficient.
TFLs are sacks though. You know, sacks are also lumped in with TFL. So if you get a sack, you also get a TFL on the stat sheet.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So he had 14 sacks and 19 so it's like 5 individual tackles for loss.
Are you sure?
Positive. Yeah. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world that sacks are also tackles for loss. Yeah.
Who had let me look, because I remember looking at Micah Parsons.
Here are the numbers for Bailey.
Yeah.
Led FBS in 2025, 23 tackles for a loss and a 20.2 pressure percentage, 14.5 sacks in 2025, tied for the most in FBS and second most in Texas Tech history. Those are the raw stats that I have in front.
Yeah. The thing with Bailey at the end of the day, though, is like, if you're drafting second overall and you want someone, because yes, where you're saying that Reese could fit a certain type of scheme, which I don't even know.
He can fit any scheme.
But he could also not fit any scheme because he doesn't have a real position. Like, you might put him at inside linebacker, but you're drafting him, Joe. You're taking one snap and you're playing one position in one snap. You can't play safety and linebacker at the same time. You can't play outside linebacker and inside at the same time.
If he fails, he could be a 4-3 end. He could be an outside linebacker.
One position, Joe. You're playing one. You know what? He was great at spying the quarterback. Reese is awesome but when you're spying the quarterback, you're not rushing the passer, right?
Yeah.
So if you're telling him on 3rd and 12, you're spy. I don't know what happened.
Your camera went out. But yeah, I can still hear you, Frankie.
The takes were so bad, the camera just knocked.
What's
Frankie
going on?
It's just about his versatility, right? So like you could use him in so many different ways where defensive corners can't scheme up for him. Whereas you talk about Bailey, you could scheme up for him all day because he's just rushing. And if he's on the field and you want to run the ball, you're just going to run the ball right at his face. Like, I don't care what he squats. Like, I know people who can squat and can't hold up against the run. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like, because you could bench a lot doesn't mean you're a strong football player on the field. Yeah, sure, he could squat a lot, but then why didn't he do better in the run game this year? There you go.
Frankie, let's see if we can get him back real quick. In the meantime, thank you to everyone who's tuned in. The viewership for this is off the charts. Shout out to Will Parkinson, who I see was hanging out in the chat. We're going to get Frankie V back on the air, but I want to acknowledge a huge super chat that came through from one of our great listeners, Cisco Lopez, who says, all of these entries are for Mimosa. Sorry for your loss. I wasn't going to say anything because it's not my business to talk about Mimosa's family situation, which you made note of it in the chat. Mimosa lost her mother recently, which is why she hasn't been as active in the live chat. So an incredible gesture by Cisco to donate all his raffle entries in honor of Mimosa. So thank you to Mimosa for the gigantic super chat earlier in the show and an amazing gesture here by the great Cisco Lopez. Also, this is LOJ Bell. This is the last Bell. Do not disappoint me. That's the leader of Jets who's waiting in the bullpen. Might be the only person more annoying than Tanky V, the chat would say. He has been freed from the hole. So we will check in with the leader of Jets when we get to the call-in portion of the show. Plus, I know this has been heavy football debate. We got Leany and Thunderlips going on in Asmaniac Madness. Update on voting for that before we get to the final stretch of the Frankie V and Joe Blewett back and forth. Right now, it's the 16th seed Leany up 59-41 in Asmaniac Madness. Let's go. All right, let's bring Mr. Frankie V back on. Hopefully his camera works. Frankie, do you got us?
Yeah, one of the comments was funny. Frankie's camera turned off and he will now be seeking new employment. I was like, that's pretty good.
We have more film. Where in terms of this back and forth?
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I have Reese reps of him winning as a pass rusher, but you don't have to win. You don't have to win bend or speed necessarily. Like, if he wins as a power rusher, that he wins as a power rusher, he's winning, So
there's not a clip of, though. I know a clip you're going to show. You're going to show the Illinois clip where he one arms the right tackle
and 180s him in the air.
Pull it up. That's
the clip he's going to show, because it's that one and the Penn State one, and then that's about where it ends.
But let me ask you, Frankie, because he wasn't asked to do it as much as Bailey, who's a pure pass rusher. He's 3 years younger. So me, as someone just totally open to both prospects, those plays to me from Reese show that he could do it, especially if he's coached properly and he's only 20. He could step into the role and get
he
better
hasn't
and
been
better.
coached to do it.
Right.
Jake.
That's my big thing. Like, he hasn't been coached to be an edge rusher. The appeal and why he's the overwhelming betting favorite to go to is how elite he already is at one position, with the opportunity to, if he applies himself, be elite at that position as well and offer you ultimate versatility in a multiple defense that Glenn said they were going to be today.
Yeah, well, the first thing that you said there is just I want to see a clip of Reese playing edge, having a plan, or bending and getting a sack, a counter, or a bend sack, a counter or bend sack. He doesn't have either. There's literally
he rushed the passer 83 times.
But Joe, it's not my problem because he didn't do it enough.
He won with power, though. Like, why? If he wins, he wins.
No, you're not going to win.
Why are
we going to win in the NFL as an edge if you've never got a sack?
Does he have the potential? Bending? Does he have the potential to win with speed?
Yes, he does. But that's not enough. But that's it, though. That's like, yeah, and so does Bailey. Do you think Bailey's not a great speed rusher?
I clearly
plus the 5 other things that he's.
I brought up Bailey as a speed rusher, but I'm concerned with the lateral agility and the lack of power. Where I'm talking about the ceiling with Reese is higher because he has power and speed. Where Bailey right now, not even right now, he's just a speed player. So Reese has the higher ceiling. Well, he's not a better pass rusher right now because he's had so many less reps than a Bailey has. And I pulled up. You can pull up my screen, by the way, Jake. I'm not going to show those plays, but like this is a one-step drop, so the ball is out so quickly. But it's another rep where he turns a tackle around 180 degrees and the ball is out immediately. So like, yeah, he wins in different ways than Bailey.
Yo, can you pull it up though? I don't see it on my end.
Hold on. What about now?
Go ahead. Yep. Now we can see the play.
Yeah. Okay. So, and again, this is just power. Like, yeah, it's not a bend rep, but if he's throwing a guy 180 degrees, the ball is out again immediately. So it doesn't necessarily matter, but we're talking about a rush win, and he does a good job here. Like he comes off the ball, the tackle gets on him. He turns the rush back into him, gets the right hand inside, lifts the dude quite literally off of his feet with good leverage. Spins him almost 180 degrees. He's going to flatten and hopefully get there. Obviously, the ball is out so quickly, so he can't get there. But that's a rush. That's a win from the edge right there. That's not going to be on the stat sheet because of how quickly the ball was out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's very. I know how strong he is.
This is another run. This is another rep off the edge.
That's the one that If that rep never happened, Reese might be going in the.
Yes, but I don't think NFL evaluators, and I'm not an NFL evaluator, but I watch every rep. I'm not just going to say, oh, it's based off of YouTube highlights. You know, so he wins with power, and yeah, he doesn't win with speed necessarily because he hasn't.
No, in the NFL, right? To your point before, the offensive tackles are much stronger, right? Obviously, they have better technique.
Of course, but Reese is.
If you get it. Yeah, but you said it before. Offensive tackles are a lot stronger. So you're telling me you put an offensive tackle at the NFL level. You have Reese try to do that to a tackle without a counter move, without having a plan or trying to learn on the job.
That is a plan.
Wouldn't Reese get stronger too, to your point, though, Frankie? He's 20. I think that's part of the appeal of Reese versus Bailey.
242. He should be 250, 255, in my opinion, for him to play a full-time edge in 2 years. Like, he's not finished.
Listen, all of this stuff, it could be. Yes, he could get stronger, and he could be bullying tackles in the NFL. The arms length, then I kind of look at, I wish he had a little bit longer arms, like Aldon Smith. Like, I wish if he was a little longer. Then I'm really buying that potential of the speed rush. He doesn't. He has short arms, not short like Bane short, but like on the shorter side, not the clip falling off the cliff short though, where you're like out. Yeah, maybe, but maybe like again, I'm not comfortable. Maybe you guys are. I'm just not comfortable, buying into Reese being a premier edge.
And by the way, Frankie, this is more of a speed rush from him too. I know that Sabo broke this down, so I don't need to. And there's a reason he's like in that Frogger stance because he's looking for a crack right there. But this is a rep where he's using his burst and his speed to win the edge here, right? Like stabs inside, which is going to get the tackle to sit a little bit on his heels and not get as wide. Uses the burst, uses the speed, he has a plan here.
Yeah, I know
to again hold him. He holds him to the inside with that stab inside, freezes the feet, cross chops the outside arm, turns the corner quickly here. Again, bend looks flashy. You know, he's down low. Who cares if he has power?
That's not good technique right there, though, is it? Like a little bit, like right? No, the frame before. What
do you mean? What's not good technique? What's not good technique about this?
Frame before, right? First of all, I'm talking from the tackle. That's not good technique there. By the time.
Well, he's running his feet. He has a guy to the outside, so he knows he can sit a little bit more inside. And then what happens is he stabs inside.
Look at the top of the tackle's body there.
Do you know why he does that? He's doing that because Reese steps so aggressively inside. Right now he's hopping back because he's anticipating bull rush. But Reese has a plan. He doesn't have plans. The plan is to get him to sit into that anchor, win to the outside, cross chop, and again, bend and flashy. He starts. Let's just call this. I don't care. Let's call it the 20.
I'm not drafting a guy second overall just because of this, though, brother.
2 yards.
I gotta see. I want to see this. I want to see this 40 times on film.
I know, but you just asked for a speed. Frankie, you're asking for rush. I'm showing you power, and then I'm showing you speed rusher. You said he doesn't have a plan. Here's a plan. Here's him winning for the edge. Here's power. Here's the speed rush that you said that doesn't exist. He didn't have a lot of reps he doesn't have hundreds of reps because he quite literally rushed 83 times on true pass rush reps.
Listen, I know the Penn. He had a sack also against Penn State where it was really a speed rush. But Joe, we were talking like 4 or 5 of these clips, like. You want to know how many plays Bailey has between Stanford and Texas Tech of him doing exactly what you just showed? You're talking like in the 60s.
He rushed the passer 6 to 7 times more than he did. So I hope he has more reps.
That's what you're drafting an edge for, though. But
part of it's projection, Frankie, right? It's not who this player is today. And I'm really asking you, if Reese had 2 more years at Ohio State, full-time D end, and he added, and again, obviously you're going to add more weight, right? If the Jets getting into an NFL strength and conditioning program, and they say, hey, you're going to be more of a full-time edge, his frame shows that he could add another 10 pounds. So if he was 250 with another 300, 400, 500 rush attempts, do you think he looks different than he does right now?
Well, I'm just concerned about the slippery bendness that Micah Parsons has that is not his body archetype.
But everybody wins differently. He rushes with power. Look at another rep where he's turning a guy 180 degrees.
Dude, the power rushing, you have to be careful because when it stops working at times or defenses are going to know it's coming, you got to have more counters and you have to have an arsenal that's different. You got to be able to do a little bit more. I know how strong the guy is. I understand that, but we'll see, man. I mean, we'll see. I'm not against listen, I thought Deion Jordan was going to be a bust. I was on record. I don't think Arvell Reese is going to be a bust defensive player in the NFL. I do not. But I think he's a linebacker. I don't think he's an edge. I cannot. Maybe you're seeing something, obviously, that there's something about him as an edge that scares the hell out of me if we're going to draft him second and put him there. If you want to draft him and have him play Joe off ball and do what Matt Patricia did or have him take the reins from DeMario at some point, I'm down. I wouldn't draft that second overall, but I'm down with that. It makes sense. It does not make sense to me thinking he's just because of his strength and speed that he's going to be.
It's the potential as a pass rusher. He has all the things you want, but elite bend, but he has power through the bend. And I just showed that rep of him beating that Penn State tackle, and he quite literally corners in 2 yards.
I mean, listen,
in this rep, he's throwing a tight end into a gap and still holding the edge and dominates that rep. So, like, we're not talking about the run game stuff where he's truly, truly dominant.
Well, I mean, listen, we'll come back, I guess, in what when are we going to have some evidence here on this stuff? Because I'm just listen, I think the guy can be a really good linebacker. I'm just not taking a linebacker second overall. I'm just not. Yeah, that's a linebacker rep. Like it's a good rep.
What do you mean? This is.
I've seen players do. This isn't the first time.
This is an on ball. Frankie, there's a difference between an inside linebacker and an on ball outside linebacker, right? This is an on ball outside linebacker. So right now he's considered an edge. Just because you don't have your hand in your dirt doesn't mean you're not an edge.
This is not a 3-4 for those who aren't as smart as you guys.
Three down, 4, and it might be like more of a 3-3-5 because Downs is in the box here, so he might be involved in the run fit.
So would he not be the Jack in Glenn's defense here? Am I understanding that? Like, would he be right here?
Well, this is the Sam because he's on the strong side of this play. I think in the Jets defense he might be more of the will on the backside. But nonetheless, this is a rep. Like this is you're saying linebacker, but when you're saying linebacker, I'm associating it more with inside linebacker, not on ball linebacker. Like, do you consider TJ Watt a inside linebacker? No, he's an on the ball stand up outside linebacker,
Can I ask
which
you
he
something
can do in
about Reese?
3-4.
When I was taught this kind of technique, right, myself, I remember you don't want to jump back with both feet. You want one of your feet to be going. He kind of jumps.
He's reading and reacting.
You want to deliver the blow a little bit more. I see him sometimes because he's so strong, he gets away with it. But you want to deliver that blow, Joe, instead of, you're both your feet going back and you're.
He doesn't deliver a blow.
Like
You're saying he's not delivering a blow here.
His first step there. Look at his right leg. His right leg is jumping out. You want to jump. You want to deliver in and get inside leverage when you're extending out.
You want to be inside leverage if you're the outside contain.
You always want your hands inside.
His hands are inside.
I know they are.
He's outside leverage because if the one were to bounce back side, he has edge responsibility.
I never said his hands weren't. I'm just saying the proper technique is you want to deliver the strike with your hands inside. He does not deliver the strike there. He's catching more than he's delivering.
He doesn't deliver the
Look at his
strike.
first step. Look, go slower.
So you just
look at eight.
Okay, so do you know what read and react is?
Joe, I play D1 football, dude. I don't need you to teach me about, like, you might know more concepts than me, and I'm not denying that, but I played this in D1 AA. I played, all right?
Okay.
I'm just like, I was taught this. I did this on a practice field every day for 3 hours. I'm not denying what you know, but I don't need to be like, talked down on about technique like this. He jumped there. You want to go back and go slower, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, so you could, like I said over the last rep of Penn State, he was in that Frogger stance, right? So he's showing more aggression there, gets to the Frogger stance because he's reading and reacting. You don't always have to just put your head down, blow a guy up. Like, he's trying to read what the run play is. So why in the Penn State rep when he's reading run first is he in a Frogger stance? Like, you don't have to be on your toes and exploding through a guy all the time. That's the part of the read and react, and that's why I'm saying Bailey is a better fit in a penetrating type of defense because you could take advantage of that first up explosion stuff, but in a more read and react defense, you're gonna hold your ground. But in terms of not delivering the strike, he gets his hands inside. He lands his hands first, drives them inside while containing the outside of the edge, and then sheds them and makes a tackle. So I don't have a problem with the technique there at all.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm fully aware of we could have the whole highlight show about Arvell Reese and the low light David Bailey show. That's fine.
Reese has weaknesses. I can go through them right now.
It's fine.
I'm just trying, like again, like I'm not trying to, I'm just, I don't know what it is, but like, I'm just trying to show that Reese has more potential as an edge rusher than maybe some people are giving credit for because of the lack of reps. But I'm just talking about, I was talking strictly about traits. Like, yeah, he's not winning a lot with speed right now, but he has the potential to win with speed. That's the main point. And I think
he does. I'm with you, Joe. Winning with speed being his A1 as a pass rusher with Reese, definitely is there. I just worry about the counters. Like, that's the one thing, like,
fine.
That's the one thing. Like, I'm with you on the speed stuff. I mean, it's dude, he's a missile. You know what I mean? So,
but with that being said, you would anticipate, and again, like, I don't want to put words in your mouth or anything like that, but with more reps and Carl Dunbar coaching him, you'd anticipate him developing more moves, developing more counters.
Dude, sometimes counters.
Like, I don't think he's a finished product.
Yeah, but sometimes guys, like, it's such a finicky thing because finicky by, like, you might get it with counters. Like, not everyone's going to be able to, like, learn counters, like, just because you have Carl Dunbar. Like, some guys can.
It's not a given.
Yeah, so it's
any
tough.
Any player could be a bust. Any player could be Vernon Golston. I'm not saying anybody could be a bust. Reese, I don't think Reese will necessarily like bust because of how good he's in the run game. Like, no doubt about it. He has a floor that's relatively, at least like solidly high just because of the run game. But realistically, if he's a really good run defender, linebacker, outside linebacker, then he should be a 4th round pick. Like obviously there's anybody can bust, but I just see the pass rush potential, and it's not a thing where he didn't produce when given the opportunity. So I get he didn't necessarily win how you wanted him to win, but it's not because of lack of athletic traits to do so. It's just because of lack of coaching. Like again, there's reps where he's standing so high up pre-snap, and the whole recoil for him to start to rush a passer takes a second, and he loses the rep where simply bend your knees more. Like little things help him out a lot.
This is a tough thing to kind of it's a good, interesting conversation in terms of, can you teach an edge counters, hand fighting, knowing how to use leverage points to offset tackles?
I think so.
Get around them. I think you can too, but I also think there's a natural component to it, or like something that's just like you do.
There's an innate feel for some guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm getting the vibe that he doesn't have the innate feel in that counter department. I'm not talking about the other stuff. That's
he developed it over. But he developed that over time, right? Like when he was 21 years old and a second year full-time pass rusher, he had 5 sacks. So he developed that. He didn't have it right away. It wasn't an innate feel.
Some of those sacks came from delayed blitzes. I saw him have a few sacks there.
Bailey?
No, Reese.
No. I'm saying that Bailey at 21 years old with a full extra year of pass rushing, he only had 5 sacks. So he didn't have the innate feel then either. He learned it. He felt it out. He was coached it. Reese hasn't had the opportunity to do so. So I'm not arguing that he's the better player right now as a pass rusher. He's not. But he has higher potential, and there's legitimate reasons why he wasn't as technically refined, because he wasn't coached to do so.
I can't wait till they draft Sonny Styles at 2, and this is all for naught anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. But it's just like, I understand some of the points, and like if Frankie felt I was trying to dunk or criticize him, I don't mean to be like that.
We both did a little bit. It's all good, dude. It's arguing. It's.
I had to get you back for the jackass on Twitter and tagging me and ruining my day.
Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because whoever they take at 2 is just along for the ride as we head to the promised land.
I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
We got Gino, baby, and that's all that really matters. Gentlemen, nearly 2 hours of this.
Boy,
unbelievable. I was just letting you guys cook. That was, as a viewer, I found it enlightening and incredibly entertaining. So I appreciate both of you guys' time and energy into this, and hopefully fans who tuned in, they come away informed.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, Frankie. No harm, no foul. I think we got a little spicy there towards the end, but respect you, Frankie.
Yeah, man. Listen, I hate bringing up that I played. By the way, when I played, I was like the Vernon Golston there. I was a friggin' boss. So I mean, maybe I should shut up. But I don't like bringing that up. I never believe that because you've played, you know more. I don't believe that. I think
that are like the fans who are like, I've been watching this team for 50 years. I know everything. Exactly. It's like you could be an idiot and watch a team for 60 years.
Anybody could learn about a sport and know better than a professional. I don't want to bring that up, but that technique, I just remember the Frogger point back was actually good, because you're right. That is a technique that they teach. I just see Reese sometimes with that technique that I remember literally practicing daily.
Yeah.
So it was like, I just brought it. I hate bringing that stuff up because you sound like an asshole. Or I do, but whatever.
Yeah, no, like I said, it could be a thing where he's showing rush and then he feels that run out, so he gets into the Frogger stance to read it. Like if he was taught to be aggressive, he would be aggressive, but he showed aggression and then backed off because it was a run. Like you could kind of fake your set just because like his front foot's forward doesn't mean he needs to explode into him necessarily. Like the Jets are going to do more Frogger like read and react stuff than just pure penetration stuff. And like that's my point with Bailey. I think we can have even a little bit more of a different discussion about them if we were more of an attack front with the Titans versus the Jets, and like Reese undoubtedly fits what they're bringing in with Osai, Onyemata, and all those guys. So I think that's going to be more so what it is than just pure, winning gap penetration type stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm semi with you there. I am.
All right. How about we do this? All right. Can I give both of you a Woody Johnson inspired hug?
I hug him every day.
Gentlemen, thank you both for hopping on. Thanks, Frankie Vitz, uSTADIUM, Joe Blewett, JetX, his film reviews there. Check out the JetX YouTube channel as well. Both you guys, really appreciate the time. Love the passion. Thank you.
Yep. Appreciate you, Jake. See you, Frankie.
Peace out.
Joe Blewett, Frankie V with us there. Oh, my goodness. What a show this has been. And we still have Asmaniac Madness to get to. Let me get to one of my awesome sponsors. This is fitting. ZipRecruiter is sponsoring this portion of the Jake Asman Show. It's draft season, which means every Jet fan is watching film. And by watching film, I mean 12 minutes of YouTube highlights, and suddenly you're pounding the table like, we have to draft David Bailey. No, we have to draft Arvell Reese. We've all been there. We were just there during this debate between Frankie and Joe. But here's the truth. Building a great team isn't about hype. It's about finding the right fit. And if you're running a business, it's no different. You don't want to reach. You don't want to bust. You want someone who actually fits your team. That's why you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter does the scouting for you. Their smart matching technology finds top candidates that check all your boxes. And you can even add screening questions so you're only talking to real difference makers. It's basically like hitting on all your draft picks, which as Jet fans, we know is easier said than done. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We will hear from both Leany and Thunderlip shortly, but let me just catch up on all these super chats that came through during the madness that was the Joe Blewett versus Tanky V debate. Right after the Mimosa super chat, Thunderlips wrote in, this is just as good as Mimosas. Vote Thunderlips. Henny says, can 20-year-old players develop or no? And that's my big thing with Reese, Henny. I know you were directing that at Frankie. I think Reese showed you enough where if he's properly coached, he could do so much more for your defense than what Bailey at his best can do. But Bailey's a really good pass rusher. So it's like you're getting a really good pass rusher right away, or you might be getting a great football player a year or two. I'm taking the swing on that at number 2. So I'm on board with Reese. Would I be that upset if they took Bailey? No, not necessarily. Not at all. But Eileen Reese. Ozzy with a super chat. Have Reese sprinkled all around the defensive line of that linebacker. Best use for him. I think that's how they would use him too, especially after what Glenn was saying today when he was asked directly about Arvell Reese. Mr. Bonesy with the super chat. We all love Leany. She's our queenie, but do it for the kids. Vote Thunderlips. The kids deserve it. Do it for the kids. Brian J. Glick in the raffle for 2 for Mimosa and her mom. Incredible gesture, coach. We'll make sure Mimosa gets these entries.
Yeah.
Ace of Spade says, Joe, would you say Bailey is one-dimensional? Sorry, we didn't get to that, Ace. Big Fella says, from this debate, Tanky has convinced me Bailey is the better version of Michael Clemens. Better on pass, just as awful on run. I don't think Bailey is Clemens bad. I will not go there. Come on. But I see what you're saying. Peter Castro, Tanky getting Blewett away. Where's my rim shot? Dun. Black Gypsy says, Joe Blewett putting belt to ass, a little BTA. Tanky V won't be able to sit right for a minute. Hey now, PBM with a super chat. Rate this: Tate at 2, Bain at 10, trade 44 and 16, tie at 33. I don't hate it. Carnell Tate and Ruben Bain are the 2 picks, and they end up taking tie at 33. I mean, I'm someone who would take tie at 33, so I don't hate it. I think a lot of fans might be against this, though. I really like Carnell Tate, though, so I don't hate this. I think we'd be walking away with the best receiver in the draft, and I think Bain's going to be a player. Or the arm length aside, I think he's going to be a player. Henny says, we could draft the Bailey any year, not a Reese. And I think that's going to ultimately be part of the Jets argument. Black Gypsy says Bailey's a better version of Clemens. Again, he's not. Oscar says, Joe, if you can't guarantee that Reese will have similar production to Will Anderson Jr., then you can't take him at 2. I don't see him being that guy. I mean, Will Anderson Jr., if you look at his production, he really blossomed this year into a first-team All-Pro. But he was good as a rookie. He won Rookie of the Year as a defensive player. And he had 7 sacks as a rookie. They're different players. I didn't watch Will Anderson in Alabama, and he didn't remind me of what I've seen from Arvell Reese. So I don't know if that comp makes sense to me, Oscar. Hennessy writes in, Frankie is the Gary of Jets analysts. Joe the Jet. Frankie Reese is a good player. Quit being a hater. Mike Perez only took 2 hours for it to get spicy. There were some moments at the beginning, but we finally let them drop their hands towards the end there. Big fella says Tanky played D1 football and still didn't help Jake with that damn Colts mascot. Shame. Yeah, Frankie allowed the Colts mascot to attack me at the combine 2 years ago. Sam says, Frankie, who you picking, Reese or Bailey versus Javonte Williams, week 5, Cowboys. Reese or Bailey versus... In what context, though? Like, if they're matched one-on-one, who do you trust more to make the tackle? Like, Javonte Williams is a running back. Here's the question I'd throw at Frankie. You're facing Josh Allen week 1. You're designing a game plan to slow him down. Who's better equipped to help you with that game plan? To me, it's Arvell Reese. Because you could use him as a spy. You could use him, off ball. You could line him up all over the field. Like, that's how I think you got to think about it if you're the Jets. Drake May, who's better equipped right away if with good coaching, right, and our coach's superpowers, who's better equipped to help you right away? You could argue with Reese, even if he's not refined fully as a pass rusher at this point.
Play call is my superpower, really.
Ted checks in. Jake, I've seen Styles go as high as 3. Let's just take Styles at 2 and then Mesidor at 16 instead of trading up for Styles. Well, I don't think Styles goes 3, though, Ted. So I think there's some fault in your logic there. I really like the player. And I did see an interesting mock today. I forget which draft guy had this. Might have been Lance Zierlein. Caleb Downs fell all the way to the Jets at 16. That feels unlikely, but I suppose that could happen. All right, let's get to you now. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote. Leany up 59-41. Wow. The 16th seed trying to keep the Cinderella ride rolling, but we started off with Thunderlips and company. Hello, Thunderlips.
Hi. Dad, you.
Yeah, what? Oh, sorry. My phone sucks when I'm driving. Well, it was a good run. I knew I was going to lose before. So, I went out, that's what happens when half the chat is virgins and they'll just vote for anybody that's a girl. No, I'm just joking. She deserves it. She's great. No, it was fun, man. I had fun making the videos and stuff like that. I had fun doing it with my kids, going to the Mets game, doing the Jets chant with Mr. Mets, doing the half marathon and the Asman tank top, getting bloody nipples and shit. So, but anyway, congrats, Leany. And, don't let us down. You got to do more than one call in a year, though,
Wow.
But
they're calling you concession lips in the chat.
But, it's, if you oversaturate.
Did we lose Lips? What a fitting end to his journey.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Vote, vote, vote. Can Thunderlips mount a comeback? Doesn't seem likely. 59-41, Leany in control, and she's on the line, and she's next.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
No, it's Queen Leany. The silver hair beauty. She lost the Jets. Leany used one punch to take down the beast. Queen Leany is the best. The Asmaniac hall pass. It's Queen Leany.
Hopefully, I'll be like Mad Max. Can you hear me? My phone's been going in and out. Hello, hello. And Thunderlips, I called twice just to.
You used to call a lot more, and then the Jets killed you.
Yes, I love that that video you did. And I thought what was really funny, because I'm on the road, and I stopped, and I was pumping gas when it started to come up about my diverticulitis, and I thought that was kind of funny. I'm pumping gas at the time. But that was great, Thunderlips. You're funny. I'm not really that funny. You're very creative. I'm not that creative. You got a great porn name, Thunderlips. I'm just Leany. So I don't know. The only thing I got, I'm a crazy Jet fan. I love the Jets. I love this community. I love everybody. And I know you got the stash, but if I let my stash come in, it would be better than yours. You'd be blown away. But
Leany,
I love everybody.
Run. This is impressive.
I know. Thank you for everybody that voted for me. Oh, okay. Oh,
You're still here, Leanie. I'm just showing you the bracket here. I mean, to start in the play-in, win a round in the play-in, then to knock out Beastbreaker. Thunderlips has been putting out hilarious videos the last couple of weeks, and for it to still be a blowout despite all the efforts just speaks volumes on how beloved in the community you are.
I loved all his videos. They were so fun. They really were. But thank you for your service. I found out he was Navy. My dad was Navy. But I just love this team so much. They were my first love. Just a short, very short story. My son was on a travel team, and all the parents one night got together and we're all like sitting having dinner. And Mr. Leanie's to my right, and he's talking to the people the other way, and I'm talking to the people to the left. And I had one of the fathers, they all knew I was a crazy Jet fan, because during the games, during the innings, I would check my phone, check my fantasy team, and be checking the Jets and the score and all that stuff. And I had it recording. So when I got home, even if they lost, I sat and I watched it from start to finish, and then watched SNY Jets post-game live. And Mr. Leanie kept saying, why are you torturing yourself? Because that's what I do. I am a fan, and I don't want to miss not one play. So we were talking, and the guy goes, oh gosh, what would you do if the Jets ever get and they win the Super Bowl? I'm like, oh my God, that would be the best day of my life besides having my kids. Now, I was not a man, so I didn't have any grandchildren. So besides my kids, I said that if the Jets win the Super Bowl, that would be the best day of my freaking life. It'd be so great, and this and that. And he goes, wait, what about your wedding day? And I'm like, no. So he's like, giggles, yeah, right. I'm like, all right. So I said, wait. He waited until Mr. Leanie was done talking and says, hey, just want to know, what would be your wife's best day of life ever? And what did Mr. Leanie say? Yes, well, because besides having her children, the Jets winning the Super Bowl. Bam. And he knows it's my grandkids, kids, Jets winning the Super Bowl. Now, just kind of 94 when we just won the cup, might just dip a little bit, and then now you missed the lead. But I love this team so much, and I love everybody for voting for me. It's just so much fun. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this amazing community. And I can't wait. If they get to the Super Bowl, I can't even imagine how all of us sharing it with all of you and all the content creators. Like, I can't even imagine. I can't. And I'm hoping the football guys.
Let's go.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Your audio at the end there was in and out, Leanie, but we got most of that, and we're all right there with you. It's the best fan base in sports. It's a fan base that probably gets the worst return on investment than any team in sports. If you think about it, don't have our own stadium, the playoff drought. Sabres are going to make the playoffs in hockey. The Jets will be all alone with the playoff drought of the 4 major sports leagues. Crazy. I want to give everyone an idea what I've been staring at for the last 2 hours and 5 minutes on hold. This is what I've seen off air. All right. Now you all get to see it as well. This is what I've been looking at on hold. All right.
Good.
It's not easy doing this. I've had to be professional while looking at this the whole time. Every second of it.
Got a red dot on his head.
And if you want a rumble, I'll give you a rumble.
Give me not this. Okay, who let Dr. Doolittle in here?
You look. What is the Dr. Doolittle thing? I've seen the movie. I mean, it was years ago. What is the Dr. Doolittle thing? I don't get the ref. I know who he is. Why is that me?
Well, you play one on TV very well, and you look like a used car salesman. You look like a used car salesman.
All right, they're usually good looking. I'll take that. You look like a snowman.
No, I don't, son. I'm a 272-pound powerful man, and I got way more power than you, pal. I could probably press lift you into the air and probably throw you 16
He
feet.
probably can't
right
move
across.
anything. Yeah, there's no way he's 270. Each one of your double D's weigh 270. Look at that.
Kid,
That-
I
that-
can
it's
break you and
disgusting.
I can destroy you in half.
This is the state
You're
of the
an
American
easy
man.
bullseye
Look
for
at
me,
this,
kid.
guys. This is the future of this country. Look at that.
You want to see what your future's going to look like? This right here is the riding
you're
crop.
about to ask. Yeah,
You want to take a ride with me in the riding crop? Because
yeah, I don't even think
Peter
you can
Jetson's
swing that
gonna
like
get
that.
his, and you're gonna get yours.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
it's two of a kind. You son of a bitch! Next time you piss me off, I'm gonna take this belt and I'm gonna wham your ass with it. And I mean,
Beast, you were 270 in third grade. Well, when's the last time you weighed yourself, brother? Beast is kind of kinky. Have you guys noticed this? He's got a belt. He's got a shirt on.
This is gonna be your ass with the belt.
Give us some more, Beast. What color is your underwear, Beast?
Beat down your miserable throat. I will bust your brains in half, and I will leave you dead, pal. You got a death wish on your head.
Beast is freaky.
No, I'm not joking, but you little son of a bitch.
I'm not joking either.
Don't you ever come with your gay innuendo, because next time you do, this belt will go right across your ass.
Beast, you're naked whipping a
beat you.
man,
I will
and you're
beat
talking
you.
about gay innuendo.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
I mean, but I will beat him like his mother should have beat him years ago. I'm strict.
What are you doing about your health? Seriously, I'm concerned. What are you doing about your health? Do you think this like you're in good condition, or what are you doing to improve your physical health?
What? Let me ask you something.
Well, answer the question first, and then ask a counter question. But answer the question first.
Cowboy. Look, cowboy. I don't think you want to go here with me because you know what? I can.
Bro, I do. I want to know what you're currently
Send
doing.
you right down the lane.
What are you doing for your health? What are you doing to improve your health?
I look good. I look really good.
You look really good.
You know what you are? Straight up. Oh, you're just a straight up OG hater. And I'm just like, Harlem Heat.
I'm just asking you, what you're
school heat, baby.
What are you doing currently to improve your health?
Heat. I'll take you for a ride with me on the Harlem Hangover, baby. Because let me say it once. Line them up, lace them up, sucker. Because you want some of this, come and get you some of this. Because you can't touch this. And I'm just like MC Hammer. I'm way too legit. Too quick.
Now that we've established that, what are you doing to improve your health? What are you currently doing to get in better shape?
You've seen me bowl. So I don't think you want to go here with me.
No, I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely curious what you're doing to improve your health.
Wow. Curious. And that's coming from a man with the lowest IQ of cheap toilet paper and probably a sack of ragu and brain goo. Like that shit from Play-Doh. No, get this son of a bitch out of here. He's lucky I don't beat him like his father should have beat him years ago. You're lucky I'm not your father.
You look good.
You look good. I will beat your ass so bad like your father should have beat you years ago.
You know those dolls where you pull the string?
I will bust you
and they have
in
the
half, and I
same
will
lines?
slap you like a little whore. And then I will put you on the outside and make sure that the popo pick your whack ass up and put your whack ass in jail.
You look really handsome.
No, I don't.
That was hilarious.
You look handsome.
What were you gonna do to the whores? I didn't follow what he said, but what exactly was he gonna do to the little whores? What was?
I know where you came from. You're from that app Grinder, and you know what I'm talking about. You sick son of a bitch.
Ooh, Beast, getting dirty.
Watch yourself with me, or I'm gonna bust you down your throat.
This is hilarious, by the way.
No, it's not hilarious. This is the truth.
No, but this is hilarious.
The ward is out.
Say about
I'm putting a red
What
dot
are
in
you
your
doing?
bullseye because
What are you doing?
The next
What are you
time
doing Friday night, Beast?
I'm gonna bust your cheek on your throat.
You know what he's doing, yeah.
You want to go bowling or something? Pick up some ladies, knock down some pins.
It's on. It's on. You want a war? You want a war, you cocksucker? I'll give you one.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Everyone just take a breath, all right? Frankie V and Joe Blewett did enough arguing. All right, home stretch for the show. I got a giveaway for the Wayne Corbett signed football. I appreciate everyone who was entered across both our shows today. Make sure you vote in Asmaniac Madness if you have not already done so. I will tell you what I will be doing after the show. I'll be having some of this, some IndaCloud, because, God, do I need to unwind after what we have experienced today on the show. If you don't know what IndaCloud is, they are a fully online, legal cannabis dispensary with gummies, premium flower, pre-rolls, and my personal favorite, and what I'll be consuming after the program, the zero sugar THC soda. After a long day of doing this show, looking at beast man boobs and everything else, that's exactly what I need to help me unwind and stay sharp. Everything is lab tested, federally legal hemp THC, and it ships discreetly right to your door. So if you're 21 or older, listen up. You can get 35% off your first order and free shipping on orders over $50 at indacloud.co. That's indacloud.co. When you use my code ASMAN, again, indacloud.co, code ASMAN for 35% off and free shipping over $50. Don't forget to fill out the quick survey after checkout to support the show. Enjoy responsibly. And shout out to IndaCloud for sponsoring the Jake Asman Show. Let's give him an honest call because he hasn't done anything to be put in the hole. We got a couple calls left. We'll do Leader, Jets, Bobby, and Gary, and then the raffle. Leader, what do you got?
Hey, thank you, Jake. I want to quickly shout out Cisco for freeing me. That's very kind. He's been a disciple, a day one. Also give a shout out to Leanie. She seems to be the only kind person in this chat, so she deserves a moment as well for her $200. Joe blew Frankie out of the water. I think that was a bad argument from the start. It was really tough. You know, David Bailey is fine, but he's a middle of the first round pick. But I kind of see Arvell Reese, the basement, like Jadeveon Clowney's like the worst case scenario. He's such a freak athlete, but the way Glenn will probably use him, there's so much kind of deception in the blitz game these days where they do this kind of turn their back to the quarterback and rip back around, whether it's a fake drop into coverage. And you can just do so much with Arvell Reese. I'm actually pretty surprised that Frankie, the D1 athlete, would, feel so compelled to defend Bailey. But that's it. Thanks for giving me some time. If you could send me Beast's number on the side. He kept hitting on me in the chat. So I thought I'd say hello to him, send him some texts. Hope you have a great day.
Well, I'll tell you what. He actually just reached out to me that he wants to propose to you, right, Beast?
I'll kick your teeth down your throat. I'll bust your fucking brains in.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
My stats and research team told me false information. Leader Jet, sorry about that. All right, more of your calls before we wrap this baby up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bobby Midnight time.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Well, you're very strong, Jake, I tell you. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm good.
I take Joey. Frankie V. No, I didn't take him. I took the other guy.
You thought Joe Blewett won the debate?
Yes, he's a good guy. He's from New Jersey, right?
Well, they're both good guys. Joe Blewett is a great guy. He's a cop. All right, he protects.
Yeah, I know. Watch out when you're in New Jersey. He might pick you up if you do bad stuff. But he won, definitely, hands down. And then Leanie, I took Leanie. I met her last year. She was awesome to me. We gave each other's hugs. And I'm losing weight. Do you see it in my face? I still got to shave.
What have you done to lose weight?
Walking. I walked today. I stopped eating the crap.
So you walk more now with 9 toes than you did with 10.
Yeah, well, the Dr. Lacani, he was on your show last Friday. He said I could start walking. I got Beata, PT coming over too. Tomorrow I got my foot wrapped up again, but they want me to practice doing it by myself. So, and then tomorrow is my favorite day of the year because I'm a big fool, So, So very good. How's your mother doing? Doing good?
Fantastic.
Yeah, Leanie won. Yeah, I love Leanie. She's so cute.
Yes.
And I do love Gun the Lips. I like his mustache. I got to shave, man, I tell you. And the Yankees lost their first game last night. I just cried. And when I get my haircut, Jake, I'm going to do the same thing what you're doing. Going to get some pot and have some pot.
You're going to have some pot. I'm not having
Yeah,
pot.
when I get my haircut. Well, whatever you drink, you in the whatever that was. I got one right next
whatever
to
that is. I'm not going to send you any product now.
In the cloud, I think it was called.
Yeah.
You definitely needed something.
In the
Poor
cloud.
guy had to watch. In the cloud, yeah. I felt bad for you. You had to watch that thing for 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
Ugh. I would have put blinders
This is what
in
it was.
my eyes.
This is what it was like on hold for me the whole time. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
and you know, Ghost comes on with hold.
Oh, yeah. Little
That
belt
Roddy
to
Cross.
Beast. Bobby, what do you think of Beast's
And
physical
then, guess what?
appearance?
I'm
By the
so
way-
happy the other night.
A
He's
friend
lucky.
of
Guess
mine
who
doesn't
lost?
believe me that Beast was on hold that way the whole time. So let me prove to my friend Jim, who's watching the show, this is what it was like on hold. Here's a picture of Beast. I screen
I
recorded
believe
this.
you.
This is what I'm looking at for 2 hours here, trying to moderate a very intense debate.
Jim, you gotta believe in Jake, okay? He doesn't lie. Come on. And
Yeah,
then I
Jim.
was so happy Duke lost. Duke lost. Yay. Woo. Yeah, Connecticut.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob,
You
I
like
got to
that?
run.
I know. Do you like that game though?
It was a great game, yeah.
Yeah, I took Connecticut. They beat our St. John's. I cried. All right. Have a good day. I'll be on tomorrow.
All right.
I'm gonna.
Beast, what's with the shirt being off? I don't understand the purpose of all this.
Well, let's see. I've had lousy sleep, stress
Okay.
level too high, and that slime ball. He's lucky you don't get this. And next time, I'll wrap it right around his neck and squeeze whatever's left, and then make sure the eyeballs pop like Roger Rabbit from the movie.
Right, but why is your lack of sleep leading to you having no shirt on as you sit on hold?
That's fine. That's fine.
No,
Yeah,
I'm asking
fine,
why.
man. I'm a fine man. I'm a luxury man. I'm a very good looking man. You know what? People can. You know what? There's an old saying: haters are gonna hate.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Need some of it. Hey, child. Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, child.
Hey, Beast.
Que pasa? How are you?
All right. Never better.
Peter Jet's he's got a bullseye on his head. Next time he plays that shit with me, this is going around his neck, and I'm gonna squeeze whatever liposection's left of him, and I'll make sure his eyeballs pop in the back of his head. And
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Hey, Chuck, how are you?
Fine.
Good,
You?
good. I'm good. You're making some weird faces there. Are you in pain or some kind of discomfort? You're making some weird, like, gummy faces there. Are you in a bit
I
of
like
discomfort?
making gummy faces. I'm an interesting person.
Rock out, man. It's your world.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know what we're supposed to feud or something. I'm not sure.
Jake is a unique individual, Gary. I have no idea.
you can't hang. Oh, great! Look at this. I got one decent fella, and I got a big clumsy. The
Oh yeah, people want to know: are you dropping a deuce, Chaz? Are you dropping a deuce?
I'm sitting in my chair.
All right, they want to know. I wasn't accusing you of anything. They were just asking in the chat.
I know they're busting my balls like usual. What else is new, Gary?
Yeah, well, you know how much this belt?
Hi,
You know
Amanda.
how much this belt cost me? Cost me $15.
Yo,
I
Beast,
might
no girl's
I'll
present.
get another one.
Hi, Amanda.
Oh hey y'all, look at this motley crew of people. How are you? How are you, Miss Madison?
You're on mute. Turn
Oh,
off
mute,
your
Amanda.
turn off your mute. me turn off your mute. Listen to me. Turn on your microphone.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you loud and clear.
You hear me? Good job.
Good job.
Thanks, guys. How is everyone?
I'm doing good. I just came back from my parents. I had dinner, brought some things like some more hats and some paper towels. And
You got a red dot in your head, boy. A big bullseye that says, "You're a dead man. You're a dead man.
Happy Holy Week, Gary.
You're a dead man. Right now, you're a dead man.
Come
And I'm going
on.
to start the bounty at $100,000 just to get you off this planet. And I will make sure I will rip your head off. And then I will make sure to take whatever left of you. And I will do what they should have did to you in Braveheart. Take your arms and legs, send them all four corners of Britain as a warning. Because I am like the next Longshanks. And I will be the next Longshanks.
Beast, do you have? How old are you?
I will make sure of that.
You're very ambiguous. You could
Nah,
be 22.
no,
you
son.
could be 58.
I'm a believer
Does
of
anybody
Jesus
know?
Christ. I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. You're nothing but a disciple.
He's
of
41. He's right. He might have just turned 42. He's
Some of
not
the
my
earth
age.
needs to be destroyed.
Gary,
But
you
he
look
can't
great
grow
for
any. He does have
41.
a baby face, and he can't grow any facial hair. But
Sorry.
I don't know. Like, obviously, he's got health issues. I mean,
no.
yeah. Cleaning up his diet here could go a long way. If he just cut out all sugars, all artificial flavors, all preservatives, everything like that, and ate clean, real food, he'd be 80% better, and he could be able to function.
Like you really know everything, don't you? This is what I really hate with you.
This is what he does, right? Like, this is what eating the American standard diet does. This is what he eats, and Hostess cupcakes. That's what this does.
And put Nicey Hot on my back. This will take off the pain and the blemishes.
Hell, stop. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for allowing me the time I needed to finish counting the raffles. We had an Amanda Madison cameo in that, but I'm going to give the 1 seed in the respective region the final word before we spin the wheel of champions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gorman time.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
How you doing, Jake?
Hello, Charles.
All's well with you and your family and friends. Just came back from my parents' house. Got me some things. Got me another case of water. Got me some paper towels in case I run out. Got me some more of my caps. As you can see, I got this puppy, my other Jets cap from Lids, and my Knicks cap. What?
So that first hat you showed was a Spider-Man fitted hat?
Yes, it is. Got it from Lids years ago.
Hey, give me one of these. Well done.
I'm holding up my phone, so I can't do that. Plus, my phone is charging. So, as for the Arvell Reese versus David Bailey discussion, they're both intriguing prospects. I hope I said that correctly. But I'm leaning towards Reese. I think he has a better, more higher potential than David Bailey. But they both could be good, or they both could be really bad. We shall see. As for Cornell Tate, I saw his highlights last night. He looks really good. I know Oscar the Grouch wants him. Shout out to Oscar. But honestly, if there's one offensive weapon I really think the Jets have a shot of taking other than, let's say, an offensive player, other than Vega Ione, is Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. I really like him a lot, too.
Kenyon Sadiq?
Yeah, Kenyon Sadiq, yes.
I like him, too. I don't think I'd take him over a receiver.
To me,
Depends
he
who's
kind
there.
of, I understand that, but to me, he kind of reminds me of a former San Francisco tight end in Vernon Davis.
Now let's talk about something that really matters. What do you think of Beast's physique?
I can't really say much because I'm a bit overweight myself, but, you know.
Jake, time out 1 second. Leader of Jets, I'm warning you right now, you prick.
Whoa.
One more blast like this,
He's not
and
even
this is
on
gonna
the
go
air.
right across your goddamn ass.
Hey, calm down. He's not even on
I'm
the
gonna
screen.
break
You're
him
talking
in
to
half.
Charles.
Jake just
break
asked me about what he does, but I can't really talk much because I'm a bit overweight myself.
You're confusing people, Beast. This is Gorman, not leader of Jets.
Oh no, he said something that was very disgusting, and I know I'm gonna break him one.
What did Leader of Jets say?
Oh, I know what he's all about now. He's Mr. I'm a queer. Well, he deserves to get
Calm
destroyed.
down. All right, Charles, thank you. Good points on football. Appreciate it. Let me bring on Leader. Let's try and end on a positive here before we spin the raffle wheel. Leader, what's wrong? Why can't you and Beast get along?
I'm gonna break you one, boy. I'm gonna break you what they did to William Wallace and Braveheart. I'm gonna take you out one way or the other. You're gonna get hanged.
Hey, Beast, calm down. Nobody needs to be hung around here. All right, it's 2026.
He needs to be hanged for treason.
Oh no,
Beast, have you seen Dune?
I've played Dune since grammar school. I got the series. Don't think I don't know what your head's gonna look like after I'm done.
I've never seen Dune. Can you explain the super chat from Common Country?
Hey, keep your nasty comments to yourself. I
muted him. Leader of Jets, what does this mean?
Baron Harkonnen, he's the antagonist, the ultimate mastermind evil guy. You should look it up. Baron Harkonnen.
Okay. Kyle Clifton says $120 to a guinea pig sanctuary of Beast choosing if he dons a shirt. Beast, you could get $120 in the name of little Joey if you put on a shirt. Will you listen?
He's got it coming. I'm gonna have his doom day in court, and we're gonna see these. You're gonna hear these words. Do you confess?
They call you Jabba the Gut in the chat. Any thoughts on that?
I don't think so. I'm William Wallace, and I see a whole.
I want to give Kyle Clifton some credit. He made fun of my sunglasses and asked if they sold them in men's. Those are women's sunglasses. So really good eye from Mr. Clifton. Beast is mad because he's just been telling me to shut up, and all I've said to him is, "I love you, Beast." How could somebody not love a man like this?
You want to get your ass busted, Pally? Because I can
Beast, what's your neck measurement? What is your neck measurement, Beast?
Beast, let's calm down. Leader of Jets.
Burn your ass alive.
Why are you so angry? We don't need to be this angry. Leader of Jets paid his dues. He was in the hole.
Disciple of the vermin from hell and needs to be burned.
Calm down, Beast. Beast, calm down. How are we going to get to the raffle if you're this angry?
He knows what's coming next.
Nobody knows what's coming. You don't leave your attic. Stop making threats of people.
Right.
Yeah, where do you live, Beast? Are you a New Jersey guy? You look very New Jersey.
Been there, done that.
He lives in Illinois, Leader of Jets. I know
really?
you're
Chicago. I love Illinois.
Any more than
What do you have playing, Beast? You look like a very well-traveled man.
You know what's gonna happen next? Any more of your sick crap?
You're gonna turn me in the chat on. You do a little more belt play.
I'm gonna destroy what's ever left of you. You will.
Here's your comp, by the way. I do see this. It's a good comp here.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's definitely not me. I think it's called y'all can't stand the truth, and I'm way more powerful because I got more balls than half of the damn chat because none of them got the testicles to do what I can do. Go pound for pound, nose to nose, toe to toe, man to man.
Can you do Don Zimmer? Don Zimmer is the other one.
I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking about, Sonny, but I do know one thing. I'm gonna put this belt right across your ass, and I'll make an example out of you like you ain't never seen an example.
Hey, Beast, Big Fella wants to know if you're able to make your elbows touch. Only 1 in 30 people could do it.
Yeah. Because I'm very physical. Let me say this. I was taught very well by my senseis very well. I got a red belt in karate, so just watch yourself, buddy.
I also want to shout out PBM. He had a good contribution for the draft. He said Carnell Tate at 2, my favorite wide receiver. He said Bain at 10, and then if Tyson Simpson drops to 33. So here's a olive branch to PBM. That got maybe he knows ball. Maybe.
See? This is what we're doing here. I'm telling you, Leader of Jets, if you just be nicer to people, you're not going to be sent to the hole. You've been on this call for 5 minutes, and this is like a record for you in the last week. We're making progress here.
I have everything that the chat once felt, Beast now feels. So he is actually absorbing it. He's actually... Beast, you're helping me, just so you know.
Oh, I'm not. I'm watching you like a hawk. Because one of these days, I
can't keep my eyes
try
off
that
of you
shit
either.
with me like you did today. I'm gonna drag your face right across the gravel road.
So just to recap, Leader of Jets, so I understand because we had a lot going on. Beast is mad at you because in the private chat you just wrote "I love you, Beast."
You can go look at it. It's rancid. The things he
Don't
says.
get this bill across his, it's right across his ass.
There's
It's
some.
gonna be a bad whooping, and I'm gonna whip him like his father should have whipped him years ago.
Hey, hold on, Beast. I'm reading the chat back. 540. Leader of Jets wrote, "I love you, Beast." And then you wrote, "Look, bitch, I got a girlfriend. Why don't you I can't even read this. This is just wildly inappropriate. Who is this girlfriend of yours?
Why you say, you know what? I am not.
Does she go to another high school?
I'm not gonna push my blood pressure to 250 because right now my heart rate's going right fast.
You
right
said
now,
you have a girlfriend.
I'm gonna go.
This is big news. Who's this
I
girlfriend of yours?
understand. I'm gonna go worry about my heart
Scroll
pressure.
down, Jake.
If I fall down, and I start having a panic attack, I'm lucky I don't have 911 over here picking me up.
Amanda Madison is my woman. So F
my
off,
health.
or I'm gonna punch your
What are you gonna do one
ass
day?
out. You sicko. May your soul burn in hell for it. That seems like a little aggressive.
There's a lot. It gets worse, Jake. It gets worse.
Also, how long have you and Amanda been together, Beast?
We're good. As someone once said, we've only just begun, but just stay out of my face or get your ass whipped. Because let me say, I've been to this belt before. Watch yourself next time. Because if I was your father, I will beat your ass so bad you won't even get up the first time. You'll have to need 911 to send your ass to the
On
hospital.
behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
All right, he's not going to calm down. I tried, but Leader of Jets, this was progress for you. I feel like we didn't come away empty-handed. No one sent you to the hole. You made some points. This was improved.
I appreciate it. I'll thank the chat. I'm not going to push my luck, so I'm going to bid you farewell. Go Knicks, go Yankees, and thank you, Asmaniacs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leader of Jets checking in. Now let me bring on Beast because I am blown away by what is happening here. Beast, I'm worried about you.
I'm gonna heart medicine that I have to go take. I got vitamins in there that I have to go take, and then I'm also gonna worry about this right now because if this goes off, I got them lidocaine patches I got for $1,000 that I can use because that's paid for through my insurance group.
Wow. Gator McCluskey just sent me a Venmo to throw you in the hole, Beast, and he quit. He left before Gator could throw him in. Unbelievable. Of all the dramatic things we have ever seen. Beast afraid of the hole. Wow. Now look what you've done. Beast Breaker 666. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut your call off and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. Do you understand me? You catch my drift?
Are you seriously on crack? I think
Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
How about you bending over and taking up the booty hole behind the 7-Eleven?
Unbelievable. Beast in the hole. Joe Blewett has gifted 5 channel memberships. I was just about to finish counting all the names. What a show this has been, huh? Joe Blewett made the following 5 people channel members. One of them I see is Dylan Terriman. How about that? Weekly guest, gifting another weekly guest. Dylan will be with us Thursday afternoon. Dylan Terriman, channel member. Trey Davis, NY Jets. Jay Deportes live. And there might have been one more. And Travis Davis, all receiving a membership there from our guy Joe Blewett, who I thought was excellent in our discussion or debate that we had with Frankie V at the very beginning of the show. I'm finalizing the names here. In the meantime, though, let's declare a winner in Asmaniac Madness because this ended up being a blowout. I was not expecting it, but it is Leany in North Carolina who is advanced to the very next round. Let's go, Leany. Leany wins by a final score here in the madness that is Asmaniac Madness. Let's see. Leany, where's the poll? Where am I? There we go. 60-40. Leany advances. The 16th seed is in the Sweet 16. Unbelievable. The Cinderella run for Queen Leany continues at 60-40, a victory with 477 votes. Big shout out to Thunderlips. His videos he made throughout this tournament were so much fun. Two great Asmaniacs. Only one could win, and it's the Queen moving on.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
No, it's Queen Leany. The silver hair beauty. She loves the Jets. Leany used one punch to take down the beast. Queen Leany is the best. The Asmaniac home pass is Queen Leany.
Unbelievable. It is raining memberships. I can't even keep up right now. Phantom Green and White. Thank you. You are in
Good
for
job.
one. Oh, my goodness. Jay Perez out in Seattle. He has just gifted 5 memberships. I'm going to need more time to count all this. You guys are the best.
It's J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Truly last call for the raffle because I was about to hit the wheel and we got all these memberships at the end here. Jetstream, I know you were in earlier. You got more to your name here. Thank you to Jetstream 1989 for gifting a 5 spot to our great community. Let's go hit the Jet chant for him. And then Leany in North Carolina celebrating her Asmaniac Madness victory by paying it forward, gifting 5 more memberships to the community. If you got one, make sure you say thank you to Leany, Jetstream, Jay Perez, Joe Blewett, everyone who just gifted a bunch of memberships through the pipeline here. Really appreciate it. I got to get caught up on the names here. So what I need to do is I need just a little bit more time and I'll be ready to roll. I'm going to play a short clip on the other side. We spin the wheel of champions. That short clip is right here.
Marcelino McCrary Dill.
All right. Me? Just hanging around.
Face the other direction.
So you see my ass?
Exactly.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Huh?
You guys win.
Alex says Charles was better. I forgot we got Gorman to do that too.
Gorman didn't use his legs.
Oh.
I'm reading the comments. They're all positive. All right. Now, here's the problem. Beastbreaker is currently in the hole. So it's going to be tough for him to send us to the raffle wheel from the hole. Now, Beast, I see you're sitting there. Can you maybe put your camera back on and have a conversation with us? Is that possible? Beast? I know you're there.
Well, Gator just broke my trust. I think it's time we part ways.
You're going to part ways with Gator? What does that mean?
That's it. I'm tired of being a laughing stock. Sir, I may have a hot temper, but you know what? Maybe it's time. Maybe it is time for me to disappear. You know, maybe for 6 months. Yeah, maybe a 6-month vacation will do the damn trick. Because you know what? I might be the toughest, craziest son of a bitch walking the face of this planet. But you know what? I got more nuts up than half the roster on this planet.
Now, could you do me a favor, though, and just maybe still send us to the Wheel of Champions here so I could give away a prize and you and Gator could make sweet love or fight with each other off air, whatever you two do?
Might as well pull Big Van Vader on every. Hey, this is Big Van Vader, former World Heavyweight Champion. Now, let's go to the Wheel Champion.
I don't know when to talk to the wheel. I can't see you. I need to have visualization on you.
This is Big Van Vader telling you, let's go to the Wheel Champion. Because if you don't go with me, I will Vader size you because Vader rules.
Hey, I can't see you. The bar in the hole is over your face. Do I go to it?
Take it off.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Everyone, bear with me. Hold on. I didn't pull up the PC Beast. You getting thrown in the hole is really just causing a huge issue here. I screen shared my Gemini, which I use to count all the names and not the Wheel of Champions, which now is officially on the screen. Music, please. All right, here we go. Good luck to everyone. Ton of entries today. Wild 2 shows. Wayne Corbett signed football is the prize. I'm going to try and order the one I bookmarked that includes a display case. If you win, I will let you know which one I end up getting for you. Email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, one spin to determine a winner. If you don't win, you are in the weekly raffle, which will be on Saturday this upcoming week. Again, thank you to everyone. Only one can win. And the winner is Mimosa is the winner. How fitting. She deserved it. Mimosa wins a signed Wayne Corbett football. She's the winner. Let's go, Mimosa. Hit it.
Help me. Pro V1 Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Yeah. Now, why did I play that? Well, because I'm on a different page that has all the whole videos, and I didn't have a Jet Chant to play. But I'm not going to deprive Mimosa of a Jet Chant. Hit it. Black Gypsy, your entry was too late. You will be in the raffle on the wheel already for our prize on tomorrow's show. I got you down. Ted with the final super chat. He's in tomorrow's raffle for 2. Beast, get a tryout for WWE. You're a potential legend. WWE HOF. Well said, Ted. Beast is a man of many talents. I just hope him and his, anger could cooperate, man. Crazy. All right. Wild show. Again, almost 3 hours. Thank you to Joe Blewett and Frankie V for their incredible debate at the beginning of the show. If you missed it, rewind. You're going to want to check that out. We're back tomorrow. Congrats to Leanie on her win in Asmaniac Madness. And I leave you guys with a short clip. Go Jets, and we will talk to you soon. Again, Jets, 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 Jets. Hit it, Leanie.
Get in the hole.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
Only on this show, dude. Only on this show.
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Excuse me.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.